emergency is very significant. That there was a lockdown at a local high school, there was a huge police response. Makes the court believe that there's some serious ramifications and consequences for this defendant by virtue of her alleged conduct.
O'Donnell's bond set at $1,500. If convicted, she faces over 3 years in prison.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is demanding a construction halt on the Enbridge Line 5 as a gas leak continues.
In a letter to the Canada-based energy company, DNR officials demand answers to a long list of questions about the spill, such as how much vapor is being released and how does Enbridge plan to bring it under control. The gas leak began when an unoccupied semi-truck rolled into an excavation site and struck the pipeline in Iron County on Tuesday. The letter adds that the DNR is immensely frustrated by other recent events where Enbridge has failed to comply with state regulations and left other questions unanswered. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Jurors are in the second day of deliberations in the trial of Lindsay Clancy. 9 women and 3 men will decide whether Clancy intentionally murdered her 3 children in 2023. Defense attorneys say she was suffering from postpartum psychosis. ABC's Peter Harlambous, following the case, says the jury has asked to see more evidence.
We understand that the jury requested 2 specific pieces of evidence. One is the knife that Clancy used to try to commit suicide. This was the knife that was found in her second-floor bedroom. She used it to cut her wrist and cut her neck before jumping out of that window. That incident, of course, leaving her paralyzed from the waist down. The other thing was some of the pill bottles that were recovered from her home.
Jurors must decide whether Clancy committed first-degree murder in each child's death, which requires proof of premeditation and malice and carries a sentence of life without parole.
Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh indicates the Fed may be open to raising key interest rates to fight inflation.
We must be confident that underlying inflation is moving to our objective clearly and at sufficient speed. Otherwise, we have work to do.
Warsh notes there have been 65 months of sustained elevated inflation. The current rate of inflation sits at 3.6%. The Fed would like to see that number down to 2%.
More news about your money now. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. In response, perhaps, all 3 of the majors down this afternoon. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. All in the red. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
The Milwaukee Brewers return home from the Big Apple. We're looking ahead to what's next. Sports, traffic, and weather right after this. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
Sports parents know the countless hours and dollars spent on practice, games, equipment, training, travel. So when an injury happens, why don't we invest in recovery too? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy supports the body's natural healing process, whether it's recovering from injury or a concussion, because it's not just about getting your athlete back on the field. It's about helping them recover for school, work, and life long after the season ends. Learn more at mdhyperbaric.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
Former NFL star Jason Kelce stars in a sarcastic ad from Liquid Death and Garage Beer, encouraging people to, you heard it, donate urine to AI data centers.
I'm familiar with holding the mayo. I'm not familiar with holding pee.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers returning home to American Family Field Holders of the best record in baseball, 83 wins, and we're not even done with August yet. Their latest victory last night over the Mets included a solid outing from Jacob Misiorowski, despite, as manager Pat Murphy described it afterwards, the slipping and the sliding on the mound following an afternoon of rain in New York.
I think you got to recognize that he was on point without his best stuff. He was slipping and sliding on the mound. Both feet, both left and right feet were slipping and sliding, but yeah, he still sucked it up.
Slipping and the sliding. It's the Brewers and the Texas Rangers interleague action tonight at American Family Field. Our coverage begins at 6:05 on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. Also tonight, the LaFleur Family Bowl up in Green Bay. It's Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. Brothers Matt and Mike LaFleur will be on opposite sidelines for the first time as NFL head coaches. Tonight's preseason finale can be watched locally in Milwaukee here on TMJ4. And gates have opened for practice runs this afternoon at the Milwaukee Mile for this weekend's IndyCar doubleheader at the track. President Doug Bowles of IndyCar on WTMJ Thursday says after one feature race last year, they're happy to return to a doubleheader for 2026.
If you're going to be in Milwaukee and you got a chance to do it, let's make that doubleheader happen. So getting to have a race on Saturday and Sunday is a really special time for us.
Race times at State Fair Park this weekend include the Snap-on Makers and Fixers 250, 1:30 tomorrow, followed by the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 at noon on Sunday.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Want to let you know, in case you're heading up to Sheboygan County or you're traveling through that area right now, we do have a closure. Wisconsin 42 North is closed at I-43 North because of a broken down vehicle. You're thinking, a broken down vehicle? Why is it closed? I was thinking the same, but I took a peek at the cameras for you. It is a semi that is broken down that they are trying to get out of there. So in the meantime, that is a closure in Sheboygan County. Down in the Milwaukee area, we're looking pretty good, except, of course, for our typical construction zones that are seeing slower drive times right now. Few disabled vehicles, no crashes. We do have one spot I want to let you know about. The ramp from Rawson Avenue to 4194 North is closed right now because of repairs. Once again, that's the ramp from Rawson Avenue to 4194 North, closed as crews get some work done.
Well, as we mentioned at the top, a beautiful Friday in store for us here in Milwaukee. Mostly sunny, 80 degrees your high, 64 the overnight low. We do have a chance for showers and storms back in the forecast tomorrow, 80 degrees for your Saturday. Very warm Sunday, 85, 86 on Monday as well. Humidity will kick up in the afternoon Monday. Tuesday, more of the same, 86 with a slight chance for some showers and storms. Right now it's sunny and 76 in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Metzig, it's Adam Roberts.
Happy Friday, everybody. We could not ask for a more beautiful day.
Absolutely not. The Jehovah's Witnesses convention is in town, and there are thousands of people all enjoying the beautiful weather this afternoon.
So true. I was leaving work last night. The market was packed.
It's just so busy
absolutely
here.
Packed with people. And then coming into work today, you could see everybody just mulling around town. There was a lot more traffic. A lot of people in town, and they have great weather for it. We like that. Hey, coming up at noon, what could the NFL do next in the Josh Jacobs case? A sports law expert joins us at 12:15. Plus, NASA's next big mission launches this weekend, searching for distant planets and answers to some of the biggest mysteries in the universe. But first,
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
happening now, an expert in human remains is trying to figure out whether skulls found in rural Fond du Lac County are authentic. A stalking investigation in Madison led to the disturbing discovery. 2 weeks ago today, detectives in Fond du Lac County helped Madison police serve a search warrant at a suspect's home. Investigators found books and memorabilia about murders and serial killers. They also found what appeared to be numerous human skulls and other skeletal remains. Authorities say an initial exam indicates many may be ancient Native American remains, but specialized testing is still needed. The Wisconsin Crime Lab, the Wisconsin Historical Society, and a group that helps return Native American remains and cultural items to tribal communities are all working together on this case. Coming up at 1:16, we'll dive into the stalking investigation that led to the disturbing discovery.
Today, a historic mark in the ongoing war in Iran. It's now been 6 months since the start of the conflict, and there's been no movement or agreement as of yet on Iran's nuclear program. The U.S. striking targets in Iran, the Pentagon claims, has crippled the Iranians' ability to continue a nuclear program. But 6 months in, the Iranians remaining defiant and attacking ships in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
It's been 6 months since the U.S. and Israel launched massive strikes against Iran, wiping out its conventional military and killing more than 3,600 Iranians, according to human rights activists in Iran, including 165 people after an elementary school was struck, most of them children. All of this loss in a war the president said would be over in a matter of weeks.
And earlier this week, U.S. Central Command announcing the removal of mines from the strait, though shipping traffic remains light amid those ongoing regional threats.
Brewers fans are about to collide with country music fans. American Family Field hosts Cole Swindell tonight for a post-game concert.
It's Carolina, tells California, maybe she'd fall for a boy from South Georgia. She's got the bar in the palm of her hand, and she's a 90s country fan, like I am. Hey,
Swindell performs after the Brewers take on the Texas Rangers. First pitch, 6:40 tonight. The concert is part of the team's country music night. All fans with game tickets can stay for the show. I think this is such a cool idea, too, because you might get people who just want to see Cole at the game and create new Brewers fans, too.
Absolutely. I've certainly gone to some sporting events in Milwaukee, not necessarily for the action on the field, but what was coming after.
Yeah, and people could also buy field passes. Going to be a good one. You should be there.
You should be here, standing with your arm around me here, cutting up, cracking a cold beer, saying cheers. Hey, y'all.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody. The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful everywhere. I don't see staff, I see friends. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
It's a story we brought you as breaking news on midday. Packers running back Josh Jacobs now charged with 2 misdemeanors in Brown County, battery and criminal damage to property. The charges stem from a fight with his girlfriend in May. The criminal complaint says the woman told police Jacobs threw her to the ground, causing a bump on her head, and took her phone. Jacobs has not commented on the charges. Meanwhile, the NFL has its own investigation and its own standards for player conduct. What could happen next for Jacobs, both legally and professionally? We're asking. Matt Mitten is the executive director of the National Sports Law Institute at Marquette University Law School. Thanks for joining the program, Matt.
My pleasure.
Let's start with the biggest question for Packers fans. Now that Josh Jacobs has been charged, what happens next from the NFL's perspective?
Well, the NFL will conduct its own investigation, and they will determine basically. So the commissioner has authority pursuant to the NFL collective bargaining agreement to discipline players for off-field conduct, such as what is alleged to have occurred here. So the standards basically, if it affects the integrity of professional football or public confidence in it. And there's been plenty of cases in the past where NFL players have unfortunately engaged in domestic abuse and have been disciplined by the league for their conduct, regardless of the results of any criminal proceedings.
And to clarify as well, the Packers have not released Jacobs yet, but if that were to happen, Matt, the NFL could act separately from any sort of release and suspend Jacobs theoretically, correct?
Yes, that's correct, because even if the Packers decide that for whatever reason they don't want him to be a Packer, he could potentially play for other clubs, and the league commissioners taking into account the interest of the entire league, not just one team.
Matt, what facts will matter most to the NFL as it investigates this case?
Well, I think exactly what happens. I don't know if, Josh Jacobs' girlfriend at the time, the woman who was allegedly assaulted, if she's willing to speak to NFL investigators. I think that would be something significant. Because police reports are public records, the NFL will take a close look at that. They'll also want Josh Jacobs' account of what happened.
So, Matt, one of the questions a lot of people had in the period between when we first learned of the situation back in May and now the charges being filed here in August was that 3-month process for getting all of these charges filed. There were originally, he was booked on 5 potential charges. Those were then reduced to 2. What kind of your experience of investigative steps or evidence could account for the fact that they took 3 months for things to come together here?
Well, my background's sports law, not criminal law. So I'm not really the best person to answer that question. But suffice to say that when you have a celebrity, well-known NFL player, prosecutors always want to very carefully investigate. They should do that in all cases before formal charges are filed. So, it was something where it looks like they wanted to gather all the evidence and make sure that they would be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the criminal liability standard that Mr. Jacobs, committed or was guilty of ultimately the charges that were filed against him.
We're talking with Matt Mitten. He is the executive director of the National Sports Law Institute at Marquette University Law School. Matt, what is a realistic timeline here? Could the NFL make a decision before the Packers season begins, the real games that count, or could this hang over the team for months?
Well, it's hard to say. The NFL is going to want to resolve it as quickly as possible. It's not in the best interest of the league, the Packers, or the player. But I anticipate that Commissioner Goodell is not going to act until he is satisfied that he has all of the relevant evidence. Again, that's looking at the police report, talking to Josh Jacobs' girlfriend. If she's in fact willing to talk, she might not be, and certainly to Josh Jacobs himself. And it's really hard to say how long that will take.
If during the court process, so Jacobs is due to make an appearance not until November 17th, if during that time between now and then we could see charges even reduced again, dismissed, resolved through some sort of plea deal met, does that automatically determine what the NFL does, or will it act still in its own manner?
They're two entirely separate proceedings. That could certainly have an impact on it, particularly if the charges were dismissed or some sort of a plea agreement. That's something that the NFL commissioner will take into account. But again, because a criminal proceeding is separate from an NFL off-field disciplinary proceeding, it's not going to be outcome determinative.
Matt, a couple of minutes ago, you had mentioned previous cases regarding the NFL, and we have seen the NFL impose very different suspensions and consequences in cases involving domestic violence or alleged misconduct. Why do the penalties seem to be so inconsistent from case to case?
Well, I think we have to look at the specific facts. You know, what's the evidence? And certainly the NFL commissioner should treat like situations alike. I think one factor, an important one, is, you know, the degree of personal injury, if any, to the victim. That's a significant factor. Whether this is an isolated incident or whether it had been a pattern of abuse or harassment, because that's one of the things that would be considered. You know, if the commissioner determines that, you know, this did occur, there was abuse, assault, you know, what's the appropriate discipline? And certainly, you know, other cases, the quote precedent, so to speak. Again, no two cases are exactly alike, but that's something the commissioner certainly would consider.
One of the other elements to all of this is the fact that to this point, no video footage, no security camera footage has come out. It is indicated in the complaint that does exist to some degree. And if that's the case, it's likely that will come out at some point one way or another. If and when that does, Matt, does that then expedite potentially, at least from the NFL's perspective, their proceedings?
Well, you know, again, it's going to depend upon when the NFL commissioner feels he has all of the relevant evidence. And to the extent that video evidence is, made available to the NFL, it makes it, more likely that all the evidence can be, compiled and looked at. So if that is provided, I think that weighs, it makes it much more likely that there'll be a faster resolution of this matter by the NFL.
One more quick thing before we wrap you up here, Matt. What rights does Jacobs have during the NFL investigation?
Well, he's entitled to be heard. So he'll get an opportunity to present his case. Presumably he has a lawyer who, I don't know if it's the same lawyer that would represent him in the criminal proceedings and in the NFL disciplinary proceeding. And then the interesting thing is that the commissioner will say, consider, okay, do we find a violation that is punishable under the NFL CBA? And what is the appropriate discipline? And then if Josh Jacobs does not like that result, what's interesting, the appeal would be back to the commissioner himself or his designee. That's a very unique feature of the NFL collective bargaining agreement. Most of the other leagues, the commissioner's discipline that would be imposed on a player for misconduct would be appealed to an independent arbitrator. But you don't have that in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Goodell I'm sorry.
Oh, no, continue on.
Well, Commissioner Goodell is, when Paul Tagliabue was still alive, former Commissioner Tagliabue was designated as the person to hear the appeal. And there's also been retired judges, federal or state court judges. So it's unlikely that Commissioner Goodell would appoint himself to review his sanction. It's likely going to be, could even be the NFL's former general counsel, Jeff Pash, who had a lot of involvement in these cases. It's really whoever he wants under the CBA.
Interesting perspective. That's Matt Mitten, the executive director of the National Sports Law Institute at Marquette University Law School. Thanks so much for joining us, Matt. We appreciate it.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Have a good weekend.
12:26 is the time. Up next, local news and your top national headlines.
Have you ever looked in the mirror and just didn't feel like yourself anymore? Maybe your clothes don't fit the way they used to, or you don't like how you look in them. It's more than that. It's how you feel walking into a room, avoiding photos, or not feeling as confident as you used to be. Over time, that can wear on you. But here's the truth. Losing weight is one thing. Feeling confident again and keeping the weight off, that's what really matters. At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they help people lose 20 to 40 pounds naturally in about 60 days. Without injections, crazy workouts, or prepackaged meals. More importantly, they show you how to keep the weight off so you can feel comfortable in your clothes, confident going out, and actually like what you see in the mirror again. Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi, and I started Milwaukee Weight Loss last year. I don't just feel lighter, I feel more confident. I've dropped a couple waist sizes, actually 4 inches. I've got more energy, and I just feel better about myself. It's time, right now. $200 off now through August 31st. Do not wait. Schedule your free consultation now at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Never a better time to feel better about what you look like and how you feel. Results may vary.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our great friends at Road America. Turn your day into an experience at Road America. Just a short drive from Milwaukee and Green Bay, this legendary track offers more than just racing. Walk the grounds, explore every corner, and watch action from wherever you want. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. And on-site camping lets you stay all weekend. GT World Challenge is up next, coming to Road America August 28th through the 30th. Great food, great views, and non-stop action. Road America, where racing meets the outdoors. Check out Road America.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. The death toll in Nepal is mounting as rescuers continue to sift through the debris from Wednesday's devastating flooding, now standing at 579. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge.
An important update from Nepalese officials, I think, which gives a clearer sense of the scale of this disaster, because the number of missing people in Nepal has jumped up to just short of 2,000 people. The previous official estimate was about 1,000 people, so half of that. So really, I think we're still getting a sense of the scale of this tragedy.
5 more people are confirmed dead from those floods in China. For a second time, a federal judge has rejected President Trump's attempt to move his criminal hush money case into federal court, where his conviction could be erased. Trump was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records related to a $130,000 hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. And it's day 2 of jury deliberations in the Lindsay Clancy trial. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31.
Surveillance video will likely be the key evidence in the case against Packers running back Josh Jacobs. He's now charged with misdemeanor battery and damage to criminal property after a domestic violence incident in May. Criminal defense attorney Jonathan Lavoie tells WTMJ he expects the video to eventually be made public.
The video evidence might tip the scales in favor of the prosecution, and they may not need as much cooperation from the alleged victim if all of this stuff is on video. And quite frankly, from the NFL's perspective, if the video looks really bad, that's the kind of stuff that shows up on TMZ and other websites, and that could be very harmful to Mr. Jacobs' football career.
Lavoie believes the state pursued misdemeanor charges because they couldn't meet the burden of proof for a felony. Jacobs is due in court November 17th.
A Milwaukee County court official suspended and accused of keeping drugs in her home is now bound for trial. Prosecutors allege Samatria Matthews owns a home on Milwaukee's north side where police found fentanyl, cocaine, and drug processing equipment. She and her stepson, 26-year-old Terrian Matthews, will both be arraigned on felony drug charges next Thursday. Her husband, Rodney Matthews, also faces multiple felonies for drug possession and fleeing an officer after allegedly leading police on a high-speed chase.
Wisconsin's tornado count for the year is on pace to break a record. New information from the National Weather Service office in Green Bay updated details from the storms in July, upgrading an EFU or unknown level to an EF0 tornado in Marathon County. That twister caused damage during Wisconsin Farm Tech Days. In total, there have now been 48 documented tornadoes in the state since the start of the year, the second most on record since 1950. That's more than double the yearly average in Wisconsin, which is 23 tornadoes.
Utility We Energies is installing new technology to get power on faster after outages.
The company has installed over 700 smart switches across the electrical grid, which restore power immediately. We Energy spokesperson Brendan Conway.
Part of it is looking at reliability metrics. Part of it is looking like where you might see outages. So we are definitely determining, but we're also making sure it's across the system.
We Energy's estimates around 2.7 million minutes of power outages were prevented this year from the equipment, and over 30,000 We Energy's customers have experienced the automatic restoration.
We'll continue to install these across the system to have more success and keep the lights on for everyone.
Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Wisconsin could establish statewide standards for burying loved ones outside of a cemetery.
A legislative study committee is examining private property burials, which are currently largely governed at the local level, creating different requirements from one community to another.
Under Wisconsin law, a family can take it on themselves. So like a lot of people will either do like a green burial or something on their own private property.
Funeral director Nathan Popp testifying before the committee. State lawmakers discussed creating uniform rules for documenting those sites while keeping private burials legal. Legislation could be introduced next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
LaFleur v. LaFleur at Lambeau tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 12:34.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. You suffer from joint pain, and you're told the only way to solve the problem is surgery. The idea of going under a knife keeps you up at night just as much as that bad back does. Well, there may be another way. QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis or a torn meniscus or years of wear and tear, regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics gives you a real shot at holding off on surgery or, in some cases, avoiding it altogether. That's why it makes sense to explore every option before you make that decision that'll change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and learn your options about regenerative treatments. The conversation and the consultation, totally free. QC Kinetics. Call 414-667-5559. Again, that's 414-667-5559. Learn your options from QC Kinetics. 414-667-5559.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods: cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers with the best record in baseball, hoping to get their 84th win tonight, the first of 3 at home against interleague foe, the Texas Rangers. Logan Henderson, who's been hot of late, he's back on the mound tonight. Our coverage starts at 6:05 on WTMJ. The Packers hosting the Cardinals in the preseason finale tonight at Lambeau. It presents one final opportunity for the depth of the roster to impress the Packers front office.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst will spend the bulk of the weekend crunching game and practice tape.
Hopefully we'll get to the end of this and make the right decisions for the Packers.
Gutekunst's aim is to optimize the roster. That could include adding players currently rostered by other teams.
There's so many phone calls going on between teams and possible trades and guys that might get cut. It's just a lot of tape watching, right? A lot of maybe guys getting let go you weren't expecting to get let go.
The Packers roster must be trimmed from 90 to 53 by 3 o'clock August 30th. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Tonight's game can be watched locally in Milwaukee on Channel 4. And round 2 action continues this afternoon at the PGA's Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. Australian Minwoo Lee atop the leaderboard with an 8 under 62 in round 1 action yesterday. He tees off at 1 o'clock local. Meanwhile, American Cameron Young scooting up the leaderboard, finished at par on the day on Thursday, now 6 under through 14 holes this afternoon.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I do want to let you know right off the bat, just a reminder, the ramp from Rawson Avenue to 4194 North is closed right now. That's for repairs. Crews are out there making some repairs, and because of that, the ramp is closed. The ramp from Rawson Avenue to 4194 North. We're seeing some significant slowing on 94 eastbound and westbound around the ballpark in our construction zone. Also, I was taking a peek at what's going on out past Delafield, and it was just a disabled vehicle on I-94 West at Highway 67, but then I continued on, and just over the county border there in Jefferson County, I see some significant slowing, and there's 2 issues. Looks like the same issue, but it's a broken down vehicle on I-94 West at the ramp from Willow Glen Road. Right shoulder is blocked because of it. And then in the same shot on this camera, Adam, I can see another disabled vehicle.
Oh, boy.
I'm looking at the one disabled vehicle, and then just a little bit up from that, you can see another one, and that's just causing people to slow down. Yep. So, yeah. So, extreme slowing right there. It doesn't go for too long, though.
Well, no complaints about the weather if you are stuck in traffic. An 80-degree high today, mostly sunny. That's going to be the case all afternoon. Pretty nice night tonight as well, 64 for the low. We are watching for some afternoon shower and storm chances tomorrow, 80 your high. Then we warm up Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, mid to upper 80s for most of us. Humidity will tick up, and there's a chance of rain each day from Sunday through Tuesday. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 77 degrees at 12:39.
NASA is getting ready to launch a new eye on the universe, and this one could change what we know about space. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is set to blast off Sunday from Florida on a SpaceX rocket. It will look at some of the biggest mysteries in the cosmos, including dark energy, dark matter, and planets beyond our solar system. ABC's Jim Ryan joins us to explain what scientists hope this new telescope will find. Jim, when you hear the next big eye in the sky, what makes this telescope such a big deal?
Well, it's field of view. Nancy Grace Roman was the first chief of astronomy at NASA, and this telescope is named for her. She's considered the mother of the Hubble Space Telescope, and this telescope is sort of a follow-up to the Hubble Space Telescope. Same 7-foot mirror on this thing, huge, and staring out into space, but its field of view is about 100 times as big as Hubble. So, in other words, Hubble gives us the individual picture in the yearbook. The Roman Space Telescope will give us the panorama of the whole graduating class. So we had a massive view of the universe in fine detail.
So in addition then to the mirror, what other new technology, if we're comparing it directly to Hubble, which launched some 35 years ago, what new tech does the Roman telescope have?
Well, it has a coronagraph. This is a huge instrument that is able to look at planets, but to block out the sun or the star that's around that planet. So the coronagraph, think of yourself standing outside at night and you see bugs flying around a streetlight. So you hold your hand up to block the light of that streetlight, and you can see the bugs flying around it. And so this does the same sort of thing, this coronagraph. It is able to actually block out that star and see what's around it. So what we're getting here is kind of a look at those exoplanets, the ones beyond our own solar system. I think the goal here, Adam, is to find a place where people might go to live one day.
Wow, imagine that. This is fascinating. Yeah. One of the biggest missions is studying dark energy. What is dark energy, and what are scientists hoping this telescope can finally tell us about it?
Well, where it comes from, essentially. Is it the product of the birth of stars, the death of universes? What exactly is it? So we may get some very basic answers about that. We'll get, perhaps even the answer to the lifelong question, are we alone out here? So, these instruments aboard this telescope, this observatory, will tell us something about the makeup of those planets that are out there, about the dark matter that might have created them, about the dark energy that still lies out there in space. And the orbit of this thing is fascinating. They're going to shoot it off into space. It does not orbit the Earth the way that the Swift telescope, which is going to come back down to Earth here in a few months, it's way out there, 900,000 miles away from Earth, between us and the sun. And at that point, there's this point of equilibrium, right? So that the gravitational pull of the Earth is the same as the gravitational pull of the sun. And so it will just sit there in space. It doesn't have to use up a lot of fuel, and it will continue to send back images of the universe and all the stuff in it for 5, 10, maybe 15 years.
So it's been a big year for space, Jim. We've got this telescope launching. Earlier this year, we had the major Artemis 2 mission sending people around the moon. Mm-hmm. In terms of the forecast for the future, what other major missions has NASA or SpaceX lined up?
Well, they're working together on a lot of this stuff. In fact, it's a SpaceX Falcon rocket that will carry the satellite into orbit on Sunday, assuming everything goes right. But you've got the Artemis 3 project coming up. The Artemis continues on now. The big prelude has already come and passed. Yeah, that's getting people out into space, testing out the equipment, making sure it all works. Next step for Artemis is to actually have humans walking on the lunar surface. That could happen as early as next year. So, yeah, stuff on the horizon that far out.
How big is this telescope, and what does the launch entail on Sunday?
It's about the size of a city bus.
Wow.
It's big. It is big and packed with equipment and instruments. And so it's been wheeled out. The fairing has been put around it. That's the protective cover that goes onto a satellite or onto a telescope like this. It's loaded onto the rocket and then liftoff. The window opens at 7:26 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern Time. And so, yeah, at that point, there may be a scrub, there may be a problem, maybe weather gets in the way. I think there's always a chance that it won't go off at that time, but that's when the window opens. So, yeah, and if they can launch it precisely and then deposit it, drop it precisely into that spot out there in the universe, boy, it's going to last us for decades.
And you brought up the weather. I think everyone always gets nervous, especially with the Florida coast, that any minor thing that isn't a clear, sunny day will impact this. Early look at the Sunday forecast, Jim.
Looks good so far. So the weather appears to be cooperating. We're still 48 hours away from the potential launch of this thing, but it all looks good right now. And sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's a computer glitch, sometimes it's some other tiny thing. Millions of parts have to work together very precisely. Then you've got the weather thrown in to make sure that this will go off on time.
Okay, Jim, if you could be the first person to see one thing through this telescope, what would you want it to be? Do you want to see a little Martian rolling around?
Well, there's so much out there to see. And using the coronagraph and, seeing what's around some stars, who knows what we could find out there. It's going to be incredible. And by the way, all of this data, this 1.4 terabytes of data that will be captured every single day, it'll be available to the public. Anybody can take a look at it.
bet those images will be going around social media, just like that Artemis 2 mission for sure.
My mom always said, this world is so big, there's got to be somebody else out there,
Gotta
right?
be.
Okay, maybe we'll find out.
It's a big world, you're right, but it's really small in the grand scheme of things.
So true. NASA getting ready to launch a new eye on the universe. ABC's Jim Ryan. Thanks so much, Jim. Have a great weekend.
All right, see you guys.
It's 12:46. Up next, deep fake videos enter Wisconsin politics.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Looking to build or remodel? Then the 80th MBA Parade of Homes is where your vision begins. Explore 17 extraordinary homes in 2 locations, Quietwood in Menominee Falls and the Snyder Farm in Oconomowoc. Each home showcases premium craftsmanship and design shaped for the way you want to live. Walk through spaces that spark ideas, elevate expectations, and inspire your next chapter. The parade runs August 15th through September 7th. For tickets and locations, visit mbaparadeofhomes.com.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified rock-solid pre-approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 rock-solid seller guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine the experience of a larger law firm with the personal attention you deserve. We take the time to listen, explain your options, and create a plan that's right for you. When the stakes are high, you need trusted legal advocates who will stand by your side every step of the way. Protect your family, your legacy, and your peace of mind. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to schedule a consultation today.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Save now during the Ken Michaels Furniture Labor Day sale.
12:49 on WTMJ. Well, conversations continue growing about the ever-growing capacity of artificial intelligence, as well as what guardrails should be in place with the technology. Specifically concerning the ability to create so-called deep fakes, fake videos depicting real people saying or doing things they didn't actually say or do. This says the technology is now creeping into political campaigns, including in Wisconsin's hyper-competitive 3rd Congressional District. This is pitting Republican incumbent Derek Van Orden against Democrat challenger Rebecca Cook. Well, several videos posted on Van Orden's official Facebook page parodying his opponent in the race are not being identified as being AI generated, even though they very clearly are.
Do you really think it matters what you peasants think? I am the anointed one. You will comply and you will vote for me. That is an order from your DC masters.
This is one example of these very clearly, if you analyze them, fake videos. Although, if you compare them with the AI videos, Jessica, we saw even 3-4 years ago, the line is getting a lot more blurry.
If you haven't seen these videos yet, and I know some of you haven't, you're probably wondering, okay, what exactly do these videos look like? How good are they? You can text WATCH right now to the Sonic Unlimited WTMJ Talk and text line. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. The thing is, these videos with AI, it's so easy now to make them look so good. But if you're really critical, you can find little things about it. But the problem is, in today's world, people are looking at things so fast that they're not looking at them critically.
So we're showing you an example that's basically just a standalone shot of Rebecca Cook. Again, an AI deepfaked video of her speaking directly to the camera. There's other examples where it is pretty blatantly obvious. In one of them, she's using an oversized, gigantic calculator. In another one, there's a cow in play driving a truck. So there are some very clear examples, even if you are just quickly scrolling. But to your point, Jessica, for ones like these that A, just look like someone talking to you, and then B, that don't very clearly contain a this was made by AI or like Grok watermark or something, which on Facebook they weren't. On Twitter they were, but not on Facebook. It is concerning. Now, legally speaking, I looked into this a little bit, and these videos, because they are not an officially finance campaign ad like you'd see on television, they do not fall under an act put through in 2024 that does require media in a campaign to specifically say if it was substantially produced in whole or in part by artificial intelligence. But the campaign, Van Orden's, is arguing, well, this was satire and this was on social media, not paid for by a campaign. That's at least the argument coming from his camp.
Yeah, so you've got that law that was put into place. You mentioned 2024. So that's talking about that law that goes to requiring campaign ads. So like if you see an ad on television and you've used AI, you need to say you used AI. But unfortunately, when it comes to social media content, there is no restriction right now.
Not right now.
It's 12:53. Week in Review. Up next.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in eastern Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit fredert.com/cancer.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma sports station.
A trade war with Canada, a contentious mayor, a Packer player faces misdemeanor charges, and more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a trade war.
As new U.S. tariffs on Canada went into effect over the weekend, the Prime Minister of Canada vowing to match them.
We've got the reserves, we've got the resilience, we've got the plan, we've got the focus.
This is like fighting with your best friend.
Why would we want to be estranged from Canada? Why?
The president signing an executive order calling for Lake Ontario to change the name to Lake America.
Jacob Mizorowski is a superhero to these young kids.
You know, as a little kid, like I definitely dreamed, and I was that way too. You know,
this was the first time it really sunk in that, like, okay, this really is bigger than me.
Honestly, a pretty rare pack. I feel bad opening it. I don't think we got a hollow. No hollow.
And May's first offering to him.
is lined off of May. It deflects over to Hamilton, but May is bent over in a little bit of pain.
I don't know if you've ever been hit by 106, but it's probably pretty painful.
Dozens of Americans are among the 1,300 missing in the Himalayan mudslide. The death toll stands at more than 350 people as searches go on for those who remain unaccounted for.
Anti-Muslim Facebook posts by the mayor of New Berlin, Dave Ament, on his private Facebook account.
We've received some tips from constituents who feel that this is Islamophobic.
That's your opinion.
I have no idea what it's like to be in his brain, but to me, this kind of reads as what happens when any of us spend too much time online.
This is indicative of something that has been going on for months, possibly years.
I apologize to our great staff, council members, and this wonderful community we call home.
The 99-year-old Milwaukee woman was brutally beaten inside of her home. Emergency responders took nearly 3 hours to arrive after the initial emergency alert.
And they called this press briefing, and then when the questions wanted to start rolling out, they took 2 of them and then said, okay, that's it.
You took a bad situation and somehow made it worse.
The Brown County District Attorney is formally charged Packers running back Josh Jacobs with 2 misdemeanors related to his May arrest.
Obviously, he should be very happy he's not charged with felonies as he was originally arrested for, but these are still very serious criminal cases.
The Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office says they were searching the rural home of 46-year-old Benjamin Larson. Inside the home, they found several skulls, significant amounts of serial killer memorabilia, and paintings of the victim he allegedly stalked.
Famed country singer, American icon Dolly Parton had passed away at the age of 80.
Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest.
She said, everybody's my children, and that just never left me when she told me that. She loved everyone.
Actor Tim Curry is dead at the age of 80. Curry, best known for his role as Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
This was a game going on at Case High School in Racine. A man who was a parent from a Milwaukee team was upset with a play, ran onto the field, and tripped a 9-year-old.
For him to admit he's wrong?
Yeah.
Ray Charles could see he was wrong.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Light It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and people strategy partner. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Whoop, just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Texas is coming to town, and the crew is ready to ride.
Fly ball center field. Back Lara. Still back. Warning track wall. Leaping. He caught it.
The Brewers take on the Rangers tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
It's 1 o'clock. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, August 28th. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, looking into the NFL's investigation of Josh Jacobs.
I'm Adam Roberts. A breakthrough in the fight against pancreatic cancer.
How about this Friday? Just gorgeous outside. So comfortable, too. Mostly sunny today. We have a high of 80. Partly cloudy tonight. We'll dip down to 64 for the low. It's currently 78 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, with charges now filed against Packers running back Josh Jacobs, will he face sanctions from the NFL? We talked with Matt Mitten, Executive Director for the National Sports Law Institute at Marquette University Law School.
Commissioner Goodell is not going to act until he is satisfied that he has all of the relevant evidence. Again, that's looking at the police report, talking to Josh Jacobs' girlfriend. If she's in fact willing to talk, she might not be, and certainly to Josh Jacobs himself.
The NFL's personal conduct policy sets a baseline 6-game unpaid suspension for a first offense involving domestic violence.
A man under investigation after allegedly stalking an ex-girlfriend for 13 years, leading police to find skeletal remains inside his home. The Fond du Lac Sheriff's Office found multiple skulls while searching the home during an ongoing stalking investigation. Assistant District Attorney in Dane County, David Olson.
Attempting to get into contact with her, he sent her letters. Sent letters to her mother, hoping to get her current address while she was out of the country. He sent letters to her place of work, to her new home, and the victim is unsure how he got her home address or how he learned of her partner and child.
The victim from the Madison area says she and Larson dated for around 2 months back in 2013.
A big development here. The Food and Drug Administration has approved a breakthrough drug to treat advanced pancreatic cancer. The drug will be sold under the brand name Raising Q.
The FDA approved the drug that shows promise in clinical trials with those with advanced stages of pancreatic cancer. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton on the results.
It's an oral daily pill that targets a key genetic driver of tumor growth. And in studies, it was shown that when given to patients with metastatic pancreatic cancer, it doubled their median survival to just over 13 months, compared to about 6.5 months for patients on standard chemotherapy. A third of the patients saw tumor shrinkage, and some patients lived years beyond the treatment.
The drug also could be covered by insurance. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Some of the world's biggest tech firms have issued a dire warning about AI-driven cyber attacks. News Nation's Mills Hayes reports it comes following a series of attacks on public utilities.
Chicago is actually home to one of the largest water treatment centers in the world. They take the water from Lake Michigan, they clean it, and they pump it out to millions. And it's exactly the kind of critical infrastructure that these tech companies say needs greater protection against cyber attacks as they become more powerful and easier to carry out. And this actually comes just weeks after we saw major cyber attacks on more than 100 water systems in 12 different states.
The companies also said internet infrastructure and hospitals are major points of concern. So far, Wisconsin has not been impacted.
Today at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, President Trump awards the 4 Artemis II astronauts with the Congressional Space Medal of Honor. The award was created back in 1969 during the height of NASA's missions to the moon. Today, the president said NASA is working on returning astronauts to the moon and set a flag marking the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence will go with them.
Before the end of my term, American astronauts will return to the lunar surface, and we're looking forward to that. We'll do it, and we're then going to the next step. And when we do, they'll plant this very important flag to mark the site of the first permanent American settlement on the moon. They're going to have a settlement. They're building a settlement up in the moon.
How big do you think that flag's going to be?
A pretty big flag, I would imagine. Maybe
Can
they
you
should
just
call.
imagine that visual, the 250th, the flag just.
Maybe they should get the Acuity flag from Sheboygan, the big giant one that's off the freeway. I bet that would look good on the moon.
I just run by that one. It's always interesting to see. And I like how the sign explains that it is this large.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have the exact dimensions. I don't remember that by heart, but it's a big one.
Time for news about your money now. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All down on Wall Street. The Dow actually has gotten right back to about even, maybe just a couple points off at 53,568, while the Nasdaq's off about 0.5% at 26,427, and the S&P 500 is down about 0.2% at 7,714. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
I decided to look it up. The flagpole, nearly 100 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. At 70 by 140 feet, the flag is the world's tallest symbol of freedom. It's pretty cool that we can drive right by it here in Wisconsin.
How about that?
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time. It's coming up on 106.
Trying to keep up with the 21st century can really get you down.
When you need a break, come to Kessler's.
We'll turn your day around.
We have good air conditioning.
And we love making new friends.
The coffee's better than average.
Because we want you to come back again.
We want to be your jeweler.
My father told you for 29 years that he wanted to be your jeweler.
He put that desire in everyone he hired.
And then he gave us the company.
He transformed our lives and gave us the most fun job on earth.
It's easy to sell jewelry when you sell it for less than it's worth.
Come and take a look at our engagement rings.
And of course, we have thousands of other things.
When you're having an overcast day, come to Kessler's.
We're going to turn your day around.
Free jewelry cleaning done by world-class professionals.
While you drink your good coffee in a room full of diamonds and gold.
Makes you feel better, no matter what you've been told.
One thing you definitely want to see before you're done
is our exclusive Kessler 81.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Sports parents know the countless hours and dollars spent on practice, games, equipment, training, travel. So when an injury happens, why don't we invest in recovery too? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy supports the body's natural healing process, whether it's recovering from injury or a concussion, because it's not just about getting your athlete back on the field. It's about helping them recover for school, work, and life long after the season ends. Learn more at mdhyperbaric.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Back at home for the Brewers tonight at American Family Field, the Interleague Texas Rangers from the American League come into town for 3. Brewers back from the Big Apple, still owners of the best record in baseball at 83-51. Thursday's win over the Mets included a solid outing from The Miz, despite, as manager Pat Murphy described it afterwards, lots of slipping and sliding on the mound.
I think you got to recognize that he was on point without his best stuff. He was slipping and sliding on the mound. Both feet, both left and right feet were slipping and sliding, but yeah, he still sucked it up.
Jacob Mizorowski now 14-5 on the season. Brewers and Rangers tonight. Our coverage from American Family Field starts at 6:05 on WTMJ. Busy night at Wisconsin sports. It's also the LaFleur Family Bowl at Lambeau Field. The Packers and the Arizona Cardinals facing off in the final preseason game of the year. Brothers Matt and Mike LaFleur on opposite sidelines for the first time as NFL head coaches. You can watch tonight's preseason finale locally on Channel 4.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Ryan Road to 4194 South in Milwaukee County. And also the ramp from Rawson Avenue to 4194 North is still closed because of repairs. As far as our construction zones, yes, we're still seeing those delays on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field. We've got a game there tonight, also a concert as well. It's a big night at AmFam Field. I'm looking at the delays right now, and actually the slowest part is headed into the city right now. So just before you reach the ballpark, it's slow going as you make your way 94 East headed into the city. Other than that, we're looking pretty good right now.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
No complaints about the forecast today. A gorgeous Friday, mostly sunny, 80 degrees, the high, 64 tonight and partly cloudy. We will have a chance for rain tomorrow afternoon. Could be some storms mixed in as well with a high of 80. And we'll warm up into the start of next week, mid-80s on Sunday. Right now in Milwaukee, mostly sunny, 78 at 110.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Matzik, it's Adam Roberts.
1 hour down, 2 more to go. Let's get into it.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things. on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, a moment of silence for Massman. The Wisconsin Football Coaches Association is asking teams across the state to hold a moment of silence before all games this weekend in honor of the football player who died last week. 17-year-old Adam Massman got hurt during a game and was rushed to the hospital but passed away. Massman would have been a senior this year at Lincoln High School in Alma Center. This was supposed to be a big year for him. And the high school is actually where family and friends will gather later today for a visitation. Those attending are being asked to wear their school colors or clothing they'd wear at a livestock show. And some of you may be saying, what? That seems different, right? Well, there's a special meaning behind that. Massman was a cattle showman as well as a high school athlete. The teenager will be laid to rest tomorrow after a funeral at the high school.
Number 2, search teams still hard at work looking for survivors in Nepal. This after the flash flooding that raced through the Himalayas along the nation's border with Tibet earlier this week. The numbers coming in staggering. At least 579 people confirmed dead, nearly 2,000 still missing, including an estimated 90 Americans. ABC's Britt Clennett is in Nepal.
This morning, authorities in a desperate search for survivors in Nepal and Tibet after that catastrophic flood swept away entire villages. But overnight, rescue crews were forced to halt operations temporarily as new flooding threats sparked fears of another disaster, just 2 days after the devastating landslide struck.
And the videos keep coming in every single day and seem to get worse and worse. Foreign financial assistance already rolling in. The Trump administration pledging at least $500,000 in relief, and the British government promising up to £5 million as well. But as Britt alluded to in her report, there are growing concerns that a newly formed overflowing lake near where this initial glacier collapse occurred that started the flood could trigger further flooding. And again, at least 579 people confirmed dead and nearly 2,000 still missing this afternoon.
Yeah, they need all the help they can get. Number 3, more charges for Tony Romo. The criminal charges against the former Dallas Cowboys quarterback are stacking up here in Milwaukee County. It all stems from Romo's arrest after a traffic stop last month.
Step out of the vehicle.
On a Wednesday at the end of July, a Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputy asked Romo how much he had to drink. Romo said 0. This is what happened when he did the walk and turn sobriety test.
Did I pass this test?
Turn around.
No, I didn't. No.
Now the 46-year-old has been issued 3 new citations related to that traffic stop: operating while intoxicated, open container in the car, and unsafe passing on the right side. A spokesperson says Romo has taken full responsibility for his actions. A lot of you are wondering, hey, is he going to come back to CBS? What's the deal there? Well, Romo was placed on leave from his job as NFL commentator on CBS in late July, but could be returning to his role with the network. As they say, Adam, stay tuned.
Well done.
It's 1:14.
Good Karma Sports is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with Good Karma Sports, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmasports.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmasports.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, ATV and UTV ridership is way up in Wisconsin, but safety is a concern. We'll talk to some subject matter experts on that and more as we celebrate all things recreation and outdoors in Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
A stalking investigation in Madison leads to a disturbing discovery in rural Fond du Lac County. 2 weeks ago, Fond du Lac County detectives helped Madison police serve a search warrant at a suspect's home. When they went inside that home, investigators say they found books and memorabilia about murders and serial killers, along with what appeared to be numerous human skulls and other skeletal remains. Authorities say an initial exam indicates many of the bones may be ancient Native American remains, but they're not sure yet. They've got some specialized testing that's going to be happening to determine if that's indeed the case. And they also say many, not all. Let's dive into the stalking investigation now that led to the discovery. Adam, you have the criminal complaint.
I do. So let's take a look at some of these details, and several of them are grisly in nature. So just as a warning as we go through here, but there is important information. So the complaint states the man at the center of this investigation, a man named Benjamin Larson, for 2 months back in 2013, dated the victim in the complaint, who is unidentified, before she ended the relationship, saying Larson has continued to contact her in the time that's passed since then through things such as letters, emails, gifts, and cards. She's also filed professional complaints with multiple licensing boards. In one of those emails, Larson allegedly wrote he got a tattoo of, quote, their symbol and the victim's initials, now a part of the body. One of the assistant district attorneys in Dane County, when Larson was in court about a couple of weeks ago, detailed some of the writings.
The defendant also wrote about coming to Madison and how she had no idea he was coming for her, how it made him feel giddy, how he circled the block dressed in all black, how he grabbed the machete that he kept in his car. He discussed about how he wanted that feeling again, and he wasn't bothered by it. He called it hunting, but I think it's fair to say that this is also something else. It's stalking. There is a grave need to protect the victim in this matter from the defendant and his conduct.
So Larson was taken into custody after a search warrant was conducted at his home in rural Fond du Lac County, just north of the city. It's here that detectives say they found multiple of those aforementioned items associated with different serial killers over the years, as well as other items in a basement room, including a mummy, a life-size Jason Voorhees mannequin from the Friday the 13th movies, and other things as well.
So there are many disturbing elements to this and accusations, but the complaint alleges that Larson stalked this Madison woman for more than 13 years. Mm-hmm. Can you even imagine that? And the woman told police she dated him for just 2 months.
Yeah, it was a very short relationship.
Yeah, just like that. In 2013, they met through mutual friends. And then she said that Larson became intensely focused on her and talked about his interest, as you mentioned, in serial killers. Well, there's one serial killer in particular that I took note of because he's one of the serial killers from Wisconsin, La Crosse, Ed Gein. Mm-hmm. After she moved to Canada, she said Larson sent letters and gifts to her mother's home in Madison, along with some emails, including one that was 15 pages long. And some of those allegations just give you this visual of somebody who is disturbed.
Absolutely. And of course, there will be a trial and a court case that precedes in all of this, and Larson should be presumed innocent until proven guilty on that investigation. So typically we will get press releases on matters, especially ones that are high profile in nature, from officials. The sheriff in Fond du Lac County saying that this is going to likely, the investigation that is, span several months due to, as you mentioned at the top here, Jessica, forensic testing turnaround time. Because as you mentioned, some of these skulls that were found in the basement on initial examination physically suggest they're likely ancient Native American in origin. But as you said, that's not a guarantee that all of them are. And there's, according to this complaint, a lot of bones and skulls that have to be analyzed. And the turnaround time does take some time.
What a job, though. I mean, think about those investigators. You've got the Fond du Lac County detectives who are helping Madison police, and they go inside this home. I mean, to find one skull is something, right?
Sure,
but to
yes.
find numerous human skulls along with bones, can't imagine being in their shoes. It's 1:20 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga. Nobody likes backups, not on I-94 and definitely not in your own backyard. That's why I'm so glad we called Comfort Awnings. Now our outdoors time isn't delayed by rain or the scorching afternoon sun. One touch of a button gives us instant shade and shelter while also protecting us from harmful UV rays. So instead of heading inside when it gets too hot or starts to rain, we can enjoy the patio for longer. Don't let any more of the summer pass you by. Right now, get $200 off any awning or screen. Call 414-Awnings or visit comfortawnings.com.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Here's a Wisconsin number worth knowing. Today's fourth graders are the entry-level workforce of 2035. But here in Milwaukee, just 9% of them can read on grade level. 9%. That's a workforce challenge, an economy challenge, a challenge for our future. Milwaukee's families, civic leaders, and businesses are working together to change it, and it's important that we all know where things really stand. Learn how City Ford Collective is working to improve outcomes for all of Milwaukee's students and strengthen our state's future at cityfordcollective.org.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
We know some of you are listening to us right now driving the car. Your car is constantly communicating with you. The trick is figuring out what it's trying to say. In this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie, we take a closer look at the language your car uses to tell you what's going on.
Oh, no. What is that? You know that moment. You start the car and some little light pops up on the dashboard, and you stare at it for a second like, is something broken? Can I still drive? Do I need to deal with this right now? Katie Allenson gets those questions all the time.
Oh, I can name off a number of dashboard symbols that people misunderstand. And that's just because they ask me, what does this mean? They'll take a picture of it and they'll send it to me and say, this is going off in my car. Do I need to worry about it?
Allenson is a human factors expert at Ford Motor Company. She also chairs the Vehicle Controls and Displays Committee at the SAE, Society of Automotive Engineers, and the International Standards Organization. So yeah, she would be the person her friends text a picture of their dashboard to. And there's one she sees a lot.
The one that stands out the most for me is tire pressure monitor. And that's the one that says maybe your tire's low or there's a fault in the sensor.
You know the one. It kind of looks like a flat tire if you squint and tilt your head a little. But even before you figure out the picture, the color is telling you something.
So the color coding has some legal meaning, but it's mostly for visibility and for urgency.
So red gets your attention. Yellow or amber, there's a problem or something you need to know about, but generally not quite as urgent. Green usually means something is on and working normally. And if you see blue...
So if your high beams are on, that will always be blue.
There you go. But here's where it gets interesting. Some dashboard symbols are confusing because they're old. Really old.
Some of these symbols seem impossible because they have been around for a very long time.
Think about the little phone handset on the steering wheel button. That old school receiver shape. There are kids driving now who may have never had a phone in their house that actually looked like that. But we still know it's a phone.
And we just don't change them because so many people in the market are familiar with it already. So we're just not going to change that handset to like a smartphone design because it's already understood, it's recognized, even though that metaphor isn't quite accurate anymore.
And when a brand new symbol does need to be created, it's not somebody sitting at a desk just doodling until one looks good. Engineers and designers come up with options, people test them, different countries test them, and that whole process can take a year, sometimes two, because ideally that little picture has to make sense whether you're driving here or in Timbuktu.
And symbols give us an opportunity to speak a common language amongst all these different drivers and different OEMs in different countries.
Which is pretty wild wild when you think about it. Your dashboard is full of this tiny language we've all sort of learned without realizing we were learning it. And one symbol Allenson wishes more people noticed. It's not a warning light. This one just saves you from pulling up to the gas pump on the wrong side.
It's something so simple. It's just this little arrow that indicates what side your gas tank is on. So I wish people understood that.
That tiny arrow next to the gas pump picture, that's it. Arrows point left, gas cap's on the left. Points right, you get it. One less lap around the gas station. So the next time your dashboard lights up, remember, somebody probably spent months, maybe years, deciding exactly what that tiny picture should say. And you've only got a second or two to understand it. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
I love that little nugget about the phone.
Yeah. It's so interesting when you think, too, because, there are, as Debbie mentioned, so many people who are just now entering the driving world who will look at that and go, what in the heck is this supposed to be?
Okay, and the other little tidbits, too, that you think of, we were talking during the break here beforehand about the gas. Sometimes, especially if you get in somebody else's car, you're driving somebody else's car, you don't know where the gas is to fill up. If you look, and then there's a little arrow on the dashboard, that's so helpful. A lot of people don't even realize it's there.
It's true. Last time I was visiting a family in Texas and we rented a car from the airport, I found myself pulling up to that gas station, and as I'm getting to the pump, having that moment of worry of, wait, which side am I on? The right side, the wrong side? I am on the wrong side. Spoiler alert, almost always.
It's 1:27. Coming up next, we've got local news and your top national headlines.
Get your final August plans in for Brewers Rangers Action Friday, August 28th through Sunday the 30th. Starting with the Cole Swindell post-game concert at Country Music Night on Friday, featuring a belt buckle with a special ticket. Then it's Jackson Churio Mania. Get the Churio Bowl giveaway Saturday, courtesy of 620 WTMJ. And get it on the Final Kids Cheer Free Sunday before summer ends. Kids get a Churio Height poster on Sunday, courtesy of Joy. Get tickets for it all at brewers.com.
Whoop, just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Don't miss out on the Labor Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. Our entire showroom of heirloom quality furniture is on sale. Enjoy factory discounts on exceptional brands like Norwalk, Bradington Young, Hooker, and our Amish dining and bedroom collections. Create a sofa, chair, sectional, or recliner as unique as you are with our thousands of customizable upholstery options. For unbeatable savings on better quality furniture, shop the Labor Day sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown. Do you love the simplicity and enduring quality of Scandinavian design? Then the Fjords Labor Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture is for you. Fjords brings the best of modern Norwegian furniture design to your home. Save today on these ergonomic recliner sofas and sleeper sofas engineered with comfort and durability in mind. Available in a variety of shapes, sizes, leathers, and finishes to match any decor. Stop in today and save during our Labor Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Want to watch all your favorite WTMJ shows? Check out the WTMJ YouTube channel. Live streams of all your favorite WTMJ shows, from Wisconsin's morning news to what's on tap. See breaking news as it happens. Get involved with the action in the chat on Brewers Extra Innings, or see all the cool tools on the Fix-It Show. Missed your favorite show? We've got past live streams and interview highlights too. Subscribe to 620 WTMJ. From the post-game to the morning show, there's no rest for baseball for Dominic Catronio, our Brewers 360 guest every Monday at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I don't care about a team record. I don't care about 100 wins. I don't care about any of that. Make sure that you are in tip-top shape the moment the playoffs start.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dunphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
It's 1:30. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, August 28th. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, swatting charges after a shelter-in-place in Heartland.
I'm Adam Roberts. New tech hopes to keep the electricity flowing.
Mostly sunny today. We have a high of 80 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Almost 2,000 people are still missing after deadly flash flooding swept through the Himalayas region of Nepal this week. More than 570 people are now confirmed dead. Words of caution from Federal Reserve Chairman Kevin Warsh today, addressing inflation at the central bank's annual meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
The data also show moderate wage growth. But in my view, in tracking underlying inflation, wage growth has not proven a reliable indicator of future inflation for a very long time.
However, Warsh is not calling for changes to interest rates. All 4 members of the Artemis II mission were awarded the Congressional Space Medal of Honor today by President Trump, and the conservative political commentator Milo Yiannopoulos has been detained by ICE, according to that agency's detention database. Yiannopoulos was listed as a citizen of the United Kingdom and rose to prominence during the first Trump administration. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a woman now faces charges after a swatting call led to a shelter-in-place in Heartland. 50-year-old Lisa O'Donnell faces 1 felony count of false reporting of an emergency after police say she told them she was being held at gunpoint inside her apartment on Wednesday. Waukesha Court Commissioner Christopher Bailey.
The impact on the area around where this happened by this individual making a false report of an emergency is very significant. That there was a lockdown at a local high school, there was a huge police response. Makes the court believe that there's some serious ramifications and consequences for this defendant by virtue of her alleged conduct.
Bond was set at $1,500. If convicted, O'Donnell faces more than 3 years in prison.
3 new citations are filed against former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo following his arrest on suspicion of operating while intoxicated in Milwaukee last month.
Where are you coming from?
The golf course. And I'm going to meet Grandma and Grandpa.
That's audio from the Milwaukee County Sheriff's body camera footage from the scene July 23rd. Court documents now show Romo has been cited for first offense operating while intoxicated, unsafe passing on the right, and possessing open intoxicants in his vehicle. He received a citation in July for refusing to take a breathalyzer test. Romo can contest all the citations in court on September 21st.
A Racine County public defender confesses to falsely accusing a sheriff's deputy of abusing a jail inmate. Cole Covey pleaded guilty to obstructing an officer. He claimed the deputy shoved his client into a wall twice. Prosecutors say body camera video, witness statements, and a lack of physical evidence all prove that those allegations were false. Covey admitted to lying in court and was ordered to pay a $1,000 fine. He must also report his conduct to the Wisconsin State Bar's office.
Wisconsin utility We Energies is installing new technology they say will get the power on faster after power outages.
The company has installed over 700 smart switches across the electrical grid, which restore power immediately. We Energy spokesperson Brendan Conway.
Part of it is looking at reliability metrics. Part of it is looking like where you might see outages. So we are definitely determining it, but we're also making sure it's across the system.
We Energy's estimates around 2.7 million minutes of power outages were prevented this year from the equipment, and over 30,000 We Energy's customers have experienced the automatic restoration.
We'll continue to install these across the system to have more success and keep the lights on for everyone.
Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
The Packers host the Cardinals tonight in the preseason finale up at Lambeau. It is one final opportunity for the depth of the roster to impress the front office.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst will spend the bulk of the weekend crunching game and practice tape.
Hopefully we'll get to the end of this and make the right decisions for the Packers.
Gutekunst's aim is to optimize the roster. That could include adding players currently rostered by other teams.
There's so many phone calls going on between teams and possible trades and and guys that might get cut. I mean, it's just a lot of tape watching, right? A lot of maybe guys getting let go you weren't expecting to get let go.
The Packers roster must be trimmed from 90 to 53 by 3 o'clock August 30th. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
What's that sound at Wisconsin State Fair Park this weekend? The Rev of IndyCar returns. We'll have it with sports and traffic and weather coming up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 1:35.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Is your life stuck in constant stress mode? Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, my team that can help, not just mask symptoms, but find the root cause. Connect Chiro specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care, helping your nervous system function the way it's designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. Helping our community live healthier, more energized lives. Go connectchiro.com.
Abby Window.
Are you looking to upgrade your bathroom with a new walk-in shower or a new tub? At Abbey Home, we take everything down to the studs, pull the plumbing permits, and you have a brand new bath or shower in as little as 1 day. And to top it off, we're having our 16-year anniversary sale. Right now, get a free shower door with your new bath or shower. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbyhome.com today or give us a call, 414-436-ABBY, 414-436-2229.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Back at home, the friendly confines of American Family Field for your Milwaukee Brewers tonight. After a winning effort Thursday night in the Big Apple over the Mets, the Brewers now get the AL's Texas Rangers for 3 in Milwaukee starting this evening. It'll be Logan Henderson on the mound for the Crew. Our coverage starts at 6:05. Here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. It's the LaFleur Family Bowl tonight in Green Bay. Packers and Arizona Cardinals. Brothers Matt and Mike LaFleur on opposite sidelines for the first time as NFL head coaches. You can watch it locally in Milwaukee on TMJ4. If you're noticing some revving sounds in West Allis this afternoon, that's because gates have opened for practice runs at the Milwaukee Mile ahead of this weekend's IndyCar doubleheader at the track. President of IndyCar Doug Bowles on WTMJ Thursday said after just one feature race last year, the group's happy to return to the doubleheader format for this year.
If you're going to be in Milwaukee and you got a chance to do it, let's make that doubleheader happen. So getting to have a race on Saturday and Sunday is a really special time for us.
Race times at State Fair Park include the Snap-on Makers and Fixers 250 at 1:30 Saturday, and then the big Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 that kicks off at noon on Sunday. And we're just over a week out from the first Wisconsin Badgers football game on WTMJ in more than a decade. Bucky facing 4th-ranked Notre Dame September 6th at Lambeau. The Irish will be without former 5-star wideout Quincy Porter, who's been ruled out as he continues recovering from a left patellar tendon injury in January. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a mess in the Zoo Interchange. The ramp from 94 East to 4145 North, right there in the Zoo Interchange, the right shoulder is blocked because of a crash. Emergency responders are already out there. We've also got a semi off to the left-hand side. You've got an emergency responder right there by the semi. One other semi is creeping on past the semi that's broken down right there. You've got a crash on over at the other side. I will say, right as I was looking at this, there were 2 cars that looked to be involved in this crash off to the right-hand side, and I just watched one of the drivers drive off. So maybe there's some movement here with this crash, or maybe that person was just helping. But bottom line is, it's still a mess out there. We've got 1 car involved in the crash that is off to the side. There are people standing off on the side of the interstate. Emergency responders are there, and everybody who is trying to drive by is going extremely slow. That's a new crash in the Zoo Interchange, the ramp from I-94 East to 4145 North. Right shoulder is blocked. No thunder out there today. In fact, it is it's a stunner in southeast Wisconsin on this Friday.
This
partly
is a postcard
cloudy.
day.
I don't even want to say partly cloudy. I just want to say it's sunny. Maybe you see a couple clouds out there. 80 degrees. Let's bring in meteorologist Lindsay Slater over at TMJ4. Lindsay, what do you talk about on a day that is just simply stunning?
All right. So usually
if it's a nice day today, I'm talking about, okay, we have weekend coming up. I have rain chances over the weekend. We just had an eclipse yesterday. We just got the drought monitor released. We have hurricane or tropical depression Dolly out there. Plus, we have a heat wave on the way for next week. So there's lots to talk about.
So there is plenty. So basically, in a nutshell, enjoy today because it won't last long. Okay, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to soak it all up. Hey, real quickly, before we dive into the forecast and what's coming up, you mentioned Dolly. And I was curious. I was asking a couple people about this earlier this week because how much did you learn when you were going to school about the naming of tropical storms? Because I was yesterday on the show, I was explaining that it was Diana for the D's, and then Diana was retired, and then came Dolly, and just kind of the irony of the fact that everybody's still mourning Dolly Parton, and then here comes Tropical Storm Dolly, though it has nothing to do with each other.
Right, and honestly, they have these names picked out for 8 to 10 years in advance. So they're all planned out. I always am looking for a Lindsay, and there's never any Lindsay. I've never seen a Hurricane Lindsay.
Do you really want a Hurricane Lindsay, though?
No, I don't. No.
I don't know. That would be a very meteorologist thing to want.
Yeah, I know, right? But yes, these names are, quite frankly, put out years and years and years in advance. It just so happened to be literally within the same day or two that we lost an icon of the world, And honestly, can we just look at it as divine intervention? You know what? There she is. She's there.
Seems like it.
And that makes me feel good inside. Let's go with that.
Are you tracking it right now? What's the latest?
Right now it's a tropical depression. It's still going to end up in the Lesser Antilles a little bit, but it does look like it loses some steam. And, I've had folks ask me about this on my social media. It just seems like we haven't had a lot of Atlantic hurricanes, but man, the Pacific is already well into the alphabet. And there is a reason for that. When you have an El Nino year, which we are still going up, El Nino is going to impact us most in the winter because that's when it's getting to its peak at this point. But when you have an El Nino year, you have much more warmer waters in the Pacific and less wind shear. That is a breeding ground for hurricanes. And so that's why the Pacific has been lighting up. What it does over in the Atlantic is the exact opposite. The waters are a little cooler and you have a lot more wind shear. So a lot of these storms, when they are trying to get started, they just kind of fall apart because it's too windy in the upper levels. So whenever the Pacific Ocean has an El Nino year, that's a big one for them. And it's very much proving to be so at this point.
So let's bring it back here now, Lindsay. You mentioned when you were going through our storylines for the next week or so, this heat wave. So I was just reading the forecast that you guys have sent over from Storm Team 4, and I do see, temperatures 85, 86 degrees. Now, when I think heat wave, I'm thinking about when we were tickling 100 degrees and going above it a few months ago. So maybe just it's important to keep in mind that context and timing of the year plays into that description.
1,000%. Yeah. I mean, there is a technical term for heat wave. I probably shouldn't have said heat wave. You're totally correct on that. I just mean we haven't had a stretch of mid and upper 80s with high humidity for a while. We're going to have a feel-like temperature on Monday, probably in the low and mid 90s. So that kind of, I don't think we won't get to heat advisories, nothing like that. But it's been, you're right, it has been a minute since we've had some of these temperatures this warm. We actually haven't hit any 90s in August. So it's been a while. In July, we had 2 heat domes. Those were heat waves. We had the extreme heat warnings, the heat advisories, the 100-degree temperatures, and then coupled with smoke. So July was not my favorite month. I don't think it was many folks' favorite month.
Old house in the city.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
So let's talk about the chances for rain and storms as well. When can people expect that? And is it just a chance here or there? Or is one day more likely to see storms and rain than another?
So right now, I think, so obviously we're good today. Today's the postcard day. I love how you said that. That's fabulous. Going into Saturday, I would say at this point, Saturday is the better day for rain chances. Afternoon and evening chances start to bring in. Now, the bullseye of the rain, the heaviest part of it, really looks to be kind of in Green Bay. So we're kind of on the fringes of that. So I do expect some scattered activity. I do not expect it to be severe at this point. It looks pretty remedial, but I would say if you have afternoon or evening plans, you really want to stay tuned to, our forecast tonight, and then again, the forecast tomorrow morning with Jacob Montesano, because he'll have the very latest on the timing. Then we go to Sunday. While we're still in an active pattern, the atmosphere has a limit on it. I call it a cap. we're capped all day. I don't see much happening Sunday until maybe overnight into Monday. Monday does look a little stormy as well.
And what about, as long as you mentioned it, I'd love for our fans to know, and we definitely have some farmers too who are listening. What about the drought monitor? What are you seeing?
Actually, so we have seen a decrease in the D1 level drought, which is the abnormally dry. So Kenosha, Racine, and areas, a little bit of Walworth County, you're actually out of a drought. However, there are some areas still near Sheboygan, Fond du Lac that are in some D2 level conditions. Those are moderate droughts across the entire state. The moderate or D2 level conditions have increased 10%. And unfortunately, in the northwest part of the state, they are very, very dry. They have seen an increase of 8% in severe drought. Quite frankly, I don't see us in a pattern that's going to, especially with the heat coming, and we have some rain chances, but none of these are slam dunks or good soaking rains. I see that likely persisting going into next week as well.
All right, we'll soak up this day today. Enjoy it. I hope you get a chance to get outside too, Lindsay. We appreciate it.
You too, guys. Have a good one.
Lindsay Slater, TMJ4 meteorologist. It is 1:46. Up next, we're talking about a Brewers giveaway. And how about that country concert at the ballpark tonight, too?
Mm-hmm. He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed. But we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritware is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritware from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritware and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
The Steinhoffel's Labor Day sale is happening now. It's one of the best times of the year to save. Get up to 30% off furniture and home decor. Plus, incredible deals on top mattress brands like Beauty Rest, Tempur-Pedic, Helix, and more. And for a limited time, when you test rest a Beauty Rest Black mattress, you'll get a free $25 gas card just for giving it a try. Hurry into your nearest Steinhoffel showroom. Tell them Jessica Ty sent you. Or shop online at steinhoffels.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Your family, your memories, our priority. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
If you see Brewers fans wearing a special giveaway hat this season, take a closer look at the bird stitched on the front. It's more than just a robin. It's a nod to Wisconsin, Brewers history, and one of the most recognizable players in franchise history. WTMJ's Julia Fellow and producer Nate Rilling share how it was all brought together by a Milwaukee artist.
This season, the Brewers have been collaborating with artists, including Rick Stoltz, who created the Robin Yount giveaway hat, which created quite the buzz in the Brewers broadcast booth.
Robin Yount is my favorite bird. Robin Yount is your favorite bird? Well, sing to yourself, tweedly-doodly-dee. Rockin' Robin. Yeah, these caps are great. They've been doing these artistry caps. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm going to wear this a lot, I think. Big fan. throw it into the rotation of caps.
The design was born out of a conversation the artist had with Brewers leaders about connecting fans across Wisconsin.
They were leaning into really trying to be inclusive of the whole state.
That gave Stoltz a starting point. He began making lists of things he associated with Wisconsin. And one idea quickly rose to the top.
The state bird, the robin, was top of the word list.
But Stoltz didn't want to create just another image of a robin. He wanted the design to connect with Wisconsin to the Brewers' own history. That is where Robin Yount came in.
Pitch. Robin drives with a left and deep. Get up. Get out of here. Gone. For Robin.
Stoltz grew up watching Brewers baseball.
And then it just triggered Robin Yount. I'm of the era of 80s Brewers baseball fan, so Robin Yount was like a hero back in the day.
The artist went back and studied the uniforms from that era. He used that inspiration for the bird's look.
And then I looked at uniforms and things of the era, so it's actually Robin Yount's rookie year uniform where they just had the M on it. So I tried to really stay true to the heritage of the club and of the brand, yet also take a unique spin on it.
The final robin was drawn on Stoltz's iPad. He says the actual drawing took only about a half hour, but there was one more Yount-inspired detail he tried along the way: a mustache.
Robin Yount used to have a big blonde mustache, so I put a mustache on this bird and it looked awful.
So the mustache came off, the robin stayed. Unlike much of his work, which lives on screens or walls, the finished hat now has put Stoltz's artwork on the heads of thousands of Brewers fans. And for him, the collaboration also represents something larger: the importance of putting local artists in front of large audiences.
It's humbling, and I really appreciate that I was given this opportunity, just because there are a lot of really talented artists out there in the city.
Strengthening the belief in the importance of local art, especially as more imagery is being created by AI.
There's a connection to, human creativity. Artists are on the forefront of doing that.
He says there's something different about seeing human creativity reflected on our city.
Especially now with Brewers doing so well within the culture of Milwaukee. Everybody's got Brewers gear, and trying to add something unique to that has been really fun. It's been wonderful.
So if you see that robin around, a little more background and a lot more Milwaukee creativity stitched into this hat. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Great sounds on that one.
Absolutely. Well done, Nate. Well done.
Tomorrow, it's the 620 WTMJ giveaway at the ballpark. I love this one. We're good with our giveaways.
Oh, yeah.
Remember last year?
I do remember. It seems like every year the lines, even though they can be long already, are extra long on our giveaway days.
The cribbage board last year, that was amazing. This one, so creative as well. It's a Jackson Churro Bowl.
See what we're doing here?
Put your Cheerios in there. Yeah. The first 25,000 ticketed fans to the gates get one, so enjoy that. Also tonight, Brewers fans collide with country music fans. American Family Field is hosting Cole Swindell tonight for a post-game concert.
It's Carolina, tells California, maybe she'd fall for a boy from South Georgia. She's got the bar in the palm of her hand, and she's a 90s country fan, like I am.
That is going to be fun. Swindell performs after the Brewers take on the Texas Rangers. First pitch, 6:40 tonight. You can hear the game right here on 620 WTMJ. Concert is part of the team's country music night. All fans with game tickets can stay for the show.
That's fantastic. And I bet the attire will be pretty. You'll be able to see who's sticking around for the show afterwards, too, if you scan the crowd.
We got some big old belt buckles, some cowboy boots, and a cowboy hat. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
I got my shades on, top back, rolling with the music jack. One on the wheel, one around you, baby. Sunset, I bet there's a chance we could get short enough, tangled up, laid back and lazy. Pour it on easy now, don't spill a bit. Nothing but time tonight, let's get to killing it. Long as I'm rocking with you, girl, you know I'm cool with just chilling it. Nothing but two-lane country on up ahead. Girl, you so fine, I wouldn't mind if this is all we did.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the Rock Solid Pre-Approval Guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified Rock Solid Pre-Approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 Rock Solid Seller Guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
Business owners
and right-hand men and women.
When you make the catering call for your office gathering,
make it Marty's Pizza.
For pizza, pasta, subs, wings, appetizers, and more.
Delivered in our heated oven delivery trucks.
Our catering delivery range has expanded
all the way east into Brookfield.
Just log on to martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Or give us a call at 262-646-3327. 262-646-3327.
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
You might not think of Burkhart for corporate uniforms and other business apparel, but you should, because a lot of businesses do. And it's because most times we're cheaper than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer, plus Nike and Under Armour that the other guys can't get. So for businesses and corporations, if you want your employees to look great while representing your brand, and you want to get your apparel for less, you can't beat Burkhart, your business uniform specialists.
You can't beat Burkhart.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma sports station.
How do you know if you're truly ready to retire? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. Many people focus on just one number, how much they've saved. But retirement readiness is about much more than a balance in your accounts. It's about having a clear plan for income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and how your money will support the lifestyle you want. Without that coordination, even a large nest egg can run into problems over time. At Drake & Associates, we help families create retirement plans designed to answer the big question, will your income last? Are you taking too much risk? And are there opportunities to reduce taxes along the way? To help you start thinking through those questions, I've created a complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 practical guides covering investments, taxes, and retirement income strategies. Call 414-897-9522 or text the word READY to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text READY to 414-897-9522. Because retirement isn't just about saving enough, it's about having a plan.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Texas is coming to town, and the crew is ready to ride.
Fly ball center field. Back Lara. Still back. Warning track wall. Leaping. He caught it.
The Brewers take on the Rangers tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
It's 2 o'clock. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, August 28th. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, what rights does Josh Jacobs have during his investigation by the NFL?
I'm Adam Roberts. Jury deliberations continue in the trial of Lindsay Clancy.
Partly cloudy tonight. We'll dip down to 64 degrees for a low. Today we have a high of 80 and ding, 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 ding. You know what that means, Adam?
What does that mean, Jessica?
We hit it.
Oh, boy.
We're there.
Without going over.
80 degrees in Milwaukee right now. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as Packers running back Josh Jacobs' criminal case continues, what rights does he have during the NFL investigation? We talked with the executive director for the National Sports Law Institute at Marquette.
He's entitled to be heard, so he'll get an opportunity to present his case. The commissioner will consider, okay, do we find a violation that is punishable under the NFL CBA, and what is the appropriate discipline?
Mitten joined us here on Midday. He said if Jacobs then wants to appeal any disciplinary ruling, he would appeal it back to the NFL commissioner rather than an independent arbitrator.
In Massachusetts, jurors continue deliberating this afternoon in the trial of Lindsay Clancy. Defense attorneys say Clancy was suffering from postpartum psychosis when she murdered her 3 young children in 2023. ABC's Peter Haralambous is following the trial and has more on what the jury was instructed to decide.
If they follow the judge's instructions, the first question they have to ask themselves is this insanity defense question. Was Clancy in a right mind? Was she aware of what she was doing, if it was right or wrong? Was she truly in the throes of postpartum psychosis? If they believe that she basically lost her grip with reality, they could go with that second option, not guilty by a lack of criminal responsibility. That means she'd be sent to a state psychiatric facility for an indefinite period of time, though she could eventually be released if her mental health improves and if she's not deemed a threat to the community.
Earlier today, the jury previously requested 2 specific pieces of evidence to review: the knife that Clancy used to try to commit suicide and some of the pill bottles that were recovered from her home.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is demanding a construction halt on the Enbridge Line 5 as a gas leak continues.
In a letter to the Canada-based energy company, DNR officials demand answers to a long list of questions about the spill, such as how much vapor is being released and how does Enbridge plan to bring it under control. The gas leak began when an unoccupied semi-truck rolled into an excavation site and struck the pipeline in Iron County on Tuesday. The letter adds that the DNR is immensely frustrated by other recent events where Enbridge has failed to comply with state regulations and left other questions unanswered. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
It's been a busy year for tornadoes in Wisconsin, and 2026 appears on pace to break the record. New information from the National Weather Service office in Green Bay updated details from their storms in July, upgrading an EFU, or unknown level, to an EF0 tornado in Marathon County, which caused damage during Wisconsin Farm Tech Days. In total, there have now been 48 documented tornadoes in the state since the beginning of the year. That makes it the second most on record for a year since 1950, and more than double the yearly average in Wisconsin of 23 tornadoes.
In a new interview, Jake Reiner, the oldest son of the late Rob and Michelle Reiner, is opening up about the December murder of his parents, the arrest of his brother, and the state of his family. ABC's Trevor Alt reports.
For the first time since Rob and Michelle Reiner were stabbed to death, allegedly by their son Nick, the couple's oldest son, Jake Reiner, is sitting down for an interview.
I'll never understand. I don't care how it's explained to me. I don't care what facts come out. I will never understand why this happened.
Speaking with Mark Cota-Robles from our station KABC.
You have described that after what happened, it was losing more than half of your family.
Mm-hmm.
That includes Nick.
Yeah.
Jake's brother Nick has been open about his longtime battle with drug addiction and mental health problems. He's now pleaded not guilty to murder charges.
As his brother's murder case makes its way through the court system, Jake Reiner says he's focused on keeping his parents' legacy alive.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update at this hour. Still a down day on Wall Street. Anywhere from about 0.1% off for the Dow, sitting down 39 points at 53,529, to as much as 0.6 off for the NASDAQ. They're down 164 points at 26,377. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 is off 25 points, sitting at 7,705 on the afternoon. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. More details at annexwealth.com.
What a night for the Wonder Kid. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Save big on everything for your painting projects when you shop at Menards. Improve your home's curb appeal with Pittsburgh's Paramount Exterior Paint. It's a paint and primer in one that defends against dirt and grime while providing exceptional height, adhesion, and fade protection. Save big at Menards on Paramount Exterior Paint. Plus, view our weekly flyer on menards.com and check out all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Your Milwaukee Brewers continue sizzling through summer with the best record in baseball, 83-51, and a sizable lead in the NL Central as well, following last night's win over the Mets, which included a solid outing from Jacob Misiorowski on the mound, 6 innings, giving up the 2 runs and striking out 6. Despite, as manager Pat Murphy described it afterwards, lots of slipping and sliding on the mound.
I think you got to recognize that he was on point without his best stuff. He was slipping and sliding on the mound. Both feet, both left and right feet were slipping and sliding, but yeah, he still sucked it up.
It's like a Simon and Garfunkel situation, just sliding away for the Miz, but getting the win. And so the Brewers head into American Family Field tonight for 3 against the Texas Rangers. We'll have coverage starting at 6:05 here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. It's the LaFleur Family Bowl tonight in Green Bay. Packers and the Arizona Cardinals, as brothers Matt and Mike LaFleur will be on opposite sidelines for the first time as NFL head coaches. Tonight, though, also a big night for players hoping to make a final push for one of those coveted NFL roster spots.
One component of a long and challenging weekend of roster construction for Packers GM Brian Gutekunst.
You know, with these guys, maybe that we're trying to make some decisions on every team rep that they've had since the spring. We're watching and comparing, and it's never perfect, but at the same time, I think it's a good process.
The Packers roster must be trimmed from 90 to 53 by 3 o'clock the afternoon of August 30th.
I always kind of feel at this time we got more than 53 that are good enough to make it, and we're going to have to make those choices.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Tonight's preseason finale can be watched locally on Channel 4 in Milwaukee.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I like what I'm seeing right now. The broken down vehicles that we had earlier, they're gone. They're out of there. The tow trucks came, gave them the boot, so to speak. The crashes that we had, those have cleared as well. The only thing we have on the big map at this moment are the delays in our construction zones. So if you're traveling right now, especially the biggest problem spot right now is 94 eastbound and westbound around the ballpark. And that's going to be extra busy tonight as well because we've got the Brewers game, first pitch at 6:40. You also have the Cole Swindell, the after-game concert. It's going to be a big night around the ballpark, but already we are seeing significant delays.
Now, no complaints for your WTMJ forecast today. We'll be right around 80 degrees for our high. Tonight, 64 and partly cloudy. We talked with Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lindsay Slater earlier about weekend's rain chances. They're not going to be super significant, but something to watch out for in the afternoon, especially Saturday, high of 80. Then the warm-up begins Sunday, 85, 86 on Monday. Same story on Tuesday. Right now at 80 degrees in Milwaukee at 210.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Matzik, it's Adam Roberts.
Happy Friday, everybody. What a wonderful Friday. It is so comfortable outside. The sun is shining. I've got my sunglasses smushed in my bag there, Adam.
You know, it's so tough for me to wear sunglasses with my glasses already on, but I almost thought about doing it this morning because I'm coming in to work, coming a little bit from sometimes on the west, and the sun just, bam, hit me right in the face. I won't complain, though, about the lack of humidity, which definitely is an added bonus for today.
And the humidity is coming in the days ahead, so definitely soak this up today. Enjoy it. Get outside if you can. Coming up this hour, hemp businesses are booming here in Wisconsin, but a federal ban could change everything. We're going to talk with the organizers of this weekend's Cannabis Festival coming up at 2:15. But first,
here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, an expert in human remains right now is trying to figure out whether skulls found in rural Fond du Lac County are authentic. A stalking investigation in Madison led to the disturbing discovery. 2 weeks ago today, detectives in Fond du Lac County helped Madison police serve a search warrant at a suspect's home. Investigators found books and memorabilia about murders and serial killers. In fact, one serial killer from right here in Wisconsin. They also found what appeared to be numerous human skulls and other skeletal remains. Authorities say an initial exam indicates many may be ancient Native American remains, but specialized testing is still needed. And they say many, not all. And the key word there, may. We don't know yet. The Wisconsin Crime Lab, the Wisconsin Historical Society, and a group that helps return Native American remains and cultural items to tribal communities are all working together on this case.
Number 2, as we continue Decision Wisconsin coverage on WTMJ, we could soon see changes in the city of Milwaukee. After a lengthy ballot counting delay during the August 11th primary, now the city's top election official could be ready to implement a series of changes to prevent another error. A letter detailed by Milwaukee Election Commission Executive Director Paulina Gutierrez, which the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has obtained, says election workers will be now required under these proposed changes to verbally announce which step they are taking when downloading results to flash drives. Recall, on election night, August 11th, that was the key issue. There were flash drives that were supposed to contain vote information, but instead contained audit log information on accident. Gutierrez was on Channel 12's Up Front a few weeks ago and reiterated she believes it all comes down to human error.
Our teams are trained. They had the written instructions with them. They had done it before. And unfortunately, the mistake still happened. I can't get into someone's head, but what I know is that we're learning from this mistake and making enhancements so that it doesn't happen again.
And those errors caused those results to be delayed until the early morning hours. I was here in the newsroom on election coverage that night. So essentially, the two biggest changes that seem to be coming out of this would be, as I mentioned before, these election workers at Central Count, where they tabulate all the ballots, will have to verbally announce what steps are taking. So, for example, if you're putting in the flash drives, my read on this is you'll have to say out loud,
I am putting in the flash drive.
And I'm putting the flash drive out now, and I'm taking the second flash drive, and that's my read. Also, according to this letter, election workers will refer to images that show the correct screens workers should be using to obtain info they need. So they'll have to actually reference and say, yep, see, look at this. This is what I am supposed to be getting here. And that comes, I would assume, likely from the images that circulated afterwards showing some of the photogs from the news stations who were at Central Count were sitting on the screens as they had the rolling circle and said audit logs. So these are not official yet. There's a process that would need to go through, but it seems as though at least these changes are being speculated on, or proposed rather, by the head of the Milwaukee Election Commission.
It's 2:14, smoke lounges, dab bars, live music, and Cannabis 101. A cannabis festival is coming to West Bend tomorrow. And we are going to speak with the organizers. In fact, I think they are walking into the studio as I speak. The studio up in smoke next.
Doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years of focus on the community and your business. At Horicon Bank, financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. And yes, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. I trust Horicon Bank. I've connected with Horicon Bank, and I invite you to do the same. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, member FDIC.
Attention travelers, the Fox World Travel Vacation Showcase is coming to Oshkosh on Saturday, September 12th. Meet over 20 top vendors, including major cruise lines, tour companies, hotels, and WTMJ's own Steve Scafidi. Attend expert travel presentations, unlock exclusive booking offers, and enter to win amazing prizes. Registration is required to attend this premium event, and space is limited. Secure your spot today. Visit foxworldtravel.com to register right now.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here.
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go. Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are. On the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
Get all the help you need on your home with WTMJ's Fall Home Improvement Showcase, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Looking for that much-needed update before the cold weather arrives? Check out the services provided from our great partners at Appliance Gallery, Comfort Awnings, Ridgetop Exteriors, and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For more information and to see what our partners can do for you and your home, visit WTMJ.com today. It's the Fall Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ.
In a land full of festivals, add another. And this one's new and unique. Rooted in Wisconsin, a cannabis festival is happening tomorrow at Washington County Fair Park in West Bend. About 40 Wisconsin businesses will showcase hemp flower, gummies, beverages, and other products as the industry faces a major question. What happens if the most intoxicating hemp products are banned later this year? Mike Sickler, owner of Terrasol Brands in Milwaukee, and Stephanie Lemke, owner of Canna Bloom Pharmacy in Hartford, are both organizers of the new festival, and they're live with us in the studio. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
So what was the motivation, Mike, behind starting this cannabis festival, and was the timing key?
Yeah, timing's key, but also motivation is really, with all the legal things we've been doing up at the state capitol, state and federal side with all the groups that we're in, we've all kind of become friends. We just never really knew each other, but this brought us all together. And with all the division and uncertainty, we decided that we need to have like a fun experience that shows a positive side of it. And with the impending or looming bans coming at the end of the year, we thought this was a great time to do it. And it just sort of fell into place.
So talking about this festival, first ever of its kind, you're going to have a lot of vendors involved. I think I saw around 40, specifically from those based here in Wisconsin. So for either of you, if someone's listening to this and thinking, what can I expect from a first ever of its kind festival like this, what will people find as they walk through the festival?
Well, there is 40 vendors, and they're all from Wisconsin. That was a requirement. So we have a lot of different things. So we have the vendors. We have speakers from 12 to 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. We have a comedian at 2. We have live music from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. In my booth particular, I have 2 glass blowers on torches at all times. I have a dab bar, a smoke lounge.
What is a dab bar? Because some people don't know. I did not know what a dab bar was. What is a dab bar?
Sure. So for the dab bar, it is a way for people to use concentrates, and we're working with it's token roll TMJ or TNJ dash or sorry,
not
dab
TMJ,
bar.
not us.
No. It's TNJ. TNJ dab bar, and they are going to, like Mike
he's one of the people. He took a tennis shoe and made a battery out of it. So they put what they call bangers, and they put it in and heat it up, and then they put the concentrate in and they smoke it. So they're able to do a concentrate, like a vaporization of either cold or hot, and smoke it.
Okay.
So
See,
it's very
so there will be some
strong.
smoke, because I was teasing
There's going to be a lot of smoke.
I was teasing your segment. I said the studio up in smoke coming up, and then I looked at Adam afterwards. And I said, actually, I don't know if there will be any smoke there. So there will be smoke.
We got really lucky that Washington County Fair Park was allowing us to smoke. So there will be at least 3 smoking lounges. Terrasol, Cannon Bloom Pharmacy, and 3 Tall Pines all have smoking lounges. There's a lot of games and activities, beer pong, or not beer pong.
Bong. Yeah, it's bong pong. Yeah.
Bong pong. There's no alcohol. I'm sorry.
I know.
See, I haven't done this before. There's bong pong.
So you've got all kinds of activities.
Disc golf course.
Yeah, we're setting up a custom 9-hole disc golf course from Riverside Disc. We've got, and that's free to play. So really, it's $10 to get in, and you get a whole day of music, activities, tons of free samples, all the vendors, education. Senator LaTanya Johnson's going to come speak at noon. Yeah.
What would the proposed federal ban mean for your business and the customers who rely on these products? I know this is something that you both are thinking heavily about.
We are working. There's no definite answer yet, but in our state, both sides of the aisle look like they are actually going to come together a little bit here and try to propose something that our state can help keep the existing industry alive. And that's a bipartisan thing. So we should know more in the next few weeks to that, and whether it'll come through with a session that's coming up in our state. So federally, though, that will help us stay safe, because we can write laws in our state that we will follow over the federal hemp ban. Yeah.
Are you guys concerned, though? Are you concerned about what could happen here and what could happen for your business?
I think we're always concerned, but we're very optimistic. We've put a lot of our hearts and souls into our businesses, for the last 8 years. And we've done everything right. We've make sure that we regulate ourselves. From the beginning, we make sure people are 21. We make sure that we're, getting COA tests and making sure everything is good, right? Lab tests. So we're making sure, and we've been going to, the states and testifying and talking to them and letting them know and, what we think should be appropriate, because we want to make sure that it's safe for all of our consumers, So we've done everything that we can, and, getting our customers to write letters and all that stuff. So we are concerned, but we're just moving forward and hoping that the government will do the right thing, because it brings a lot of money in, money, jobs, and everything else. So, I would love to get in front of some of these people and, talk to them. And we have, but, some listen and some don't.
On that front, you mentioned economic potentially consequences. Michael, posed to you, can you expand a bit on if this goes through, and you mentioned that there is some discussion happening that could maybe potentially work around this or push it down the road. But if things go forward as planned right now for November 12th and that ban goes through, what's the immediate economic consequence for our state?
Immediate. So the numbers that have been gathered over the last year or two is about 3,500 jobs could be pretty much instantly wiped out. We're talking from farmers, staff on a farm. You got the process, you got the harvesters, you got people trimming the buds. You've got the people who process it into concentrates and different materials for raw goods. You've got retailers, plus you have the consumers who use it. So the impact, about 3,500 jobs could be gone come December if things aren't rectified or changed. And then we also are looking at over $150 million of revenue that Wisconsin will be losing to outstates like, Michigan or Illinois, because they're just going to cross the border and get it. But with flock cameras and strict stuff like that, they're really tracking people crossing borders from dispensaries into our state, because that'll be a felony. So there's a lot of concern, a lot of impact that's going to happen, which won't be positive for our state.
Stephanie, are you thinking about how you might possibly have to change your business?
I am. So I have cannabis smoking lounges where people can come in. It's a bar so that they can come in and do THC drinks, and they can do vapor products and stuff like that. So, I mean, just like you were like earlier, doing like a speakeasy where you do like a mocktail and, maybe a bar where I have to sell alcohol, which is something that I'm very much against. But, if we have to do stuff like that to make our businesses work until the legality of it happens, then, we're going to do whatever we can to stay in business, including, like I was telling you yesterday, is I'll stay open until somebody stops me.
I think you told me I'll stay open until somebody arrests me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said that.
Sometimes you do have to stand up for what you think is right, and to ban a plant that's granted, like the current use of it is extended. It's what people originally thought it was, more fiber like materials, but there's a huge benefit, and unfortunately, we aren't a legal state in the marijuana sense. We're kind of falling behind with the rest of the country. So hopefully we can keep this industry alive.
So for people who want to go, can they still get tickets?
Oh, yes. Plenty of tickets available day of. There is VIP tickets. Gets you in early, gets you special seating, little tote bags, some goodies. Yes, plenty of tickets, and the doors open at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, that's a new one. Rooted in Wisconsin, a cannabis festival happening tomorrow at Washington County Fair Park in West Bend. Your favorite Wisconsin cannabis vendors, they say, the Big Cheese, cannabis cup judging, 9-hole disc golf, educational guest speakers. I think there's Cannabis 101 is one of the items on the agenda tomorrow. Smoke lounges, music, and more. Rooted in Wisconsin. Thanks for filling me in, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
It's 2:26 coming up next. It's your top local news and national headlines.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Pivot Work Injury Law, we stand up for those worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and we've recovered more than $50 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Pivot Work Injury Law today for a risk-free consultation. Visit pivotworkinjurylaw.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Looking for books, movies, digital tools, exciting programs, and more? Milwaukee County Public Libraries have it all, totally free. One library card opens the doors to all 27 public libraries in the county. Kids can dive into story times and STEAM kits full of fun and discovery, while adults can join book clubs, sharpen career skills, or take online classes in everything from tech to language learning. Head to findmylibrary.org to begin exploring libraries and open up a world of unlimited access to learning and fun.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
4 years ago, I opened a doggy dream space unlike anything in Wisconsin. A place that offers it all: daycare, boarding, grooming, and a one-of-a-kind indoor-outdoor dog park and tavern. A hangout as fun for humans as it is for hounds. I'm Leah, proud owner of the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Our love, passion, and commitment to dogs and the community are at the core of everything we do. From our incredible staff to top-tier services, we've built something truly special at the Hounds and Tap. Come see for yourself. Visit the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls today.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Save now during the Ken Michaels Furniture Labor Day sale.
It's 2:30. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, August 28th. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, a public defender pleads guilty.
I'm Adam Roberts. A warrant on stalking charges leads to finding skeletal remains.
Partly cloudy tonight. We have a low of 64 degrees. Partly cloudy tomorrow, too. Chance for storms in the evening. It's 80 now.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. All eyes are on a courthouse in Massachusetts right now where day 2 of jury deliberations are underway in the trial of Lindsay Clancy. She's charged with murdering her 3 children in 2023 by strangulation. Her lawyers have said she was suffering from postpartum psychosis. Tens of thousands of people are participating in a Defend the Vote march in Washington, D.C. right now, organized by the Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders taking aim at the Trump administration while at the event.
Today we have a president who, along with the Supreme Court members he appointed, is carrying out the most significant assault on voting rights since segregation, targeting virtually every aspect of the electoral system.
Meanwhile, President Trump awarding the crew of the Artemis II mission Congressional Space Medals of Honor today. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Racine County public defender confesses to falsely accusing a sheriff's deputy of abusing a jail inmate.
Cole Covey pled guilty to obstructing an officer for claiming the deputy shoved his client into a wall twice. Body camera video, witness statements, and a lack of physical evidence proved the allegations false. Covey admitted to lying and was ordered to pay a $1,000 fine. He also must report his conduct to the Wisconsin State Bar's office. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A woman now facing charges after a swatting call police say leads to a shelter-in-place in Heartland. 50-year-old Lisa O'Donnell facing 1 felony count of false reporting of an emergency. This after authorities say she allegedly told police she was being held at gunpoint inside her apartment Wednesday afternoon, leading to that shelter-in-place order. Waukesha Court Commissioner Christopher Bailey during O'Donnell's first appearance in court on Thursday.
That there was a lockdown at a local high school. There was a huge police response. Makes the court believe that there's some serious ramifications and consequences for this defendant by virtue of her alleged conduct.
The court set bond at $1,500. If convicted, O'Donnell faces over 3 years in prison.
1 person is dead after a drive-by shooting on Milwaukee's northwest side. Milwaukee police responded early this morning to 26 in Walnut. Someone in a car fired shots at the victims. A 39-year-old died right there at the scene. A 33-year-old was taken to the hospital for injuries. Police are still looking for the shooter.
The state of Wisconsin could soon establish statewide standards for burying loved ones outside of a cemetery.
A legislative study committee is examining private property burials, which are currently largely governed at the local level, creating different requirements from one community to another.
Under Wisconsin law, a family can take it on themselves. So like a lot of people will either do like a green burial or something on their own private property.
Funeral director Nathan Popp testifying before the committee. State lawmakers discussed creating uniform rules for documenting those sites while keeping private burials legal. Legislation could be introduced next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
How about the Brewers? 4 straight series wins for the boys. That's awesome. We're looking ahead to tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time. It's coming up on 2:34.
Accident Mortgage is an equalizing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage.
Nicer Homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the Rock Solid Pre-Approval Guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified Rock Solid Pre-Approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 Rock Solid Seller Guarantee. Get started with yours today at ACCUNET.com.
Borrow, don't buy. Did you know that your public library system has a variety of things you can borrow? Besides books, check out board games, cake pans, ukuleles, museum passes, video games, even electrical testing kits. Whether it's mastering a new skill, trying a new hobby, or learning a new language, your library loves to share resources with you. Access thousands of on-demand video courses with your library card. Courses can be accessed anytime, anywhere. Find out what your Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Jefferson County libraries have to offer. Learn more at getyourlibrarycard.org.
Texas is coming to town, and the crew is ready to ride.
Fly ball center field, back Lara, still back, warning track wall, leaping, he caught it!
The Brewers take on the Rangers tonight at American Family Field.
Nice play by Luis Lara. He is a wizard out there in center field.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Your Milwaukee Brewers remain red hot, 83 and 51. That's good for a 7-game lead over the Cubs in the NL Central and a 3-game advantage over the Dodgers for the top record, not just in baseball, but in the National League. Important for that coveted 1 seed in the postseason. The Brewers action continues tonight. They're back at home at American Family Field, first of 3 against the AL West's Texas Rangers, who, despite finding themselves with a sub-500 record, given the pretty substandard condition of the AL West right now, they are just 1 game out from the 500 Houston Astros for the top of the division. It'll be Logan Henderson on the mound tonight for the Crew. Our coverage starts at 6:05 ahead of a 6:40 first pitch on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. The Packers host the Cardinals in the preseason finale tonight. It can be watched locally in Milwaukee on Channel 4. And round 2 action continues at the PGA's Tour Championship held this weekend at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. Quick scoreboard update. American dominance in the top 5 right now. Cameron Young, Sam Burns, Gary Woodland, Ryan Gerard, and Akshay Bhatia, all at 8 under on the day for a 5-way tie atop the leaderboard.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Not too bad. No crashes to report. We do have our typical construction zones, including right around American Family Field, the ballpark there, that are slow due to the construction, the work, and the construction barrels. Other than that, we just have 1 broken down vehicle right now in Milwaukee County. It's I-43 South at North Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Clouds will be on the increase tonight with a low of 66. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lindsay Slater says Saturday is looking a bit sticky with some shower and storm chances and a high of 80 for the afternoon. Hot and muggy then on your Sunday and 85, up to 87 possibly on Monday for some of us. Humidity and a chance of storms as well. And then that humidity sticks into the middle of the week. Tuesday 86 and Wednesday a forecast high of 85 degrees. It's 80 right now and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 238.
AI is getting better at helping us. But now some of the biggest tech companies are warning it's also getting better at helping hackers. More than 100 companies, including OpenAI, Anthropic, Microsoft, and Amazon Web Services, just warned we may be just months away from these AI-powered cyber attacks. We may just have a few months to prepare for a new wave of these. Rich Frankel is a former FBI special agent in charge, and he joins us live with what we need to know. Great to have you back, Rich.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
So what has AI changed for a hacker? What can an attacker do today that was either much harder before or more expensive just a year or two ago?
So at the lower end, and by the way, this doesn't mean that it's easy or anything, but at the end that hits more of us, the regular person, you can use AI to fraudulently make any document, any email. You can fraudulently put faces out there and voices, so that when you think you're speaking to the bank or you're speaking to your power provider, you may not be speaking to them, or if they claim to be the FBI or IRS, you may not be speaking to them. You could be speaking to a hacker who's asking for your personal identifiable information, your credit card information, your dates of birth, and getting all that. And now they've got all your information to either pass out and sell to other people, or actually to try and figure out what your passwords are and get into your databases. So that's on one side. On the other side, what they're starting to do is actually use AI to scan for holes in cybersecurity protocols of companies, infrastructure, government agencies. It used to be that people would do this, or they would have, algorithms that would do it. But the AI algorithms are so much more advanced and so much faster that something that would take maybe 90 days or longer to find that hole on an average is now, they're afraid it's going to take a day to get in, which then doesn't give time for the cybersecurity companies or for the owners of those companies to protect those holes if they haven't already done so.
So this letter says many of these organizations are dealing with issues like unpatched software, authentication weaknesses, excessive permissions, but these problems, Rich, existed before artificial intelligence came onto the scene. So the question is AI creating these new vulnerabilities from scratch, or is it mostly making long-standing weaknesses maybe more easier and faster to potentially exploit?
That's more what this letter, I think, is focused on. Down the line, I think we're going to have an issue with AI just somehow almost using a sledgehammer to get through cybersecurity. But right now, it's just what you said and what the letter has talked about, is that now is the time. It's a shrinking window, basically, to get in there and secure the critical infrastructures, the companies, and the government agencies with the technology that we have, and to stop those holes from being exploited. And it's going to take time. It's going to take money. And if the companies or infrastructure or whatever is not willing to do so, then, come 3-4 months from now, they're going to be in a whole heap of trouble because they're not going to be able to close them down in time because of AI.
A lot of times you have outsiders saying, hey, there's an issue. Outsiders sounding the alarm. But in this case, it's the companies building these powerful AI systems who are saying, we've got a problem. Should we take that as a sign that this threat is especially serious?
Yeah, and even on top of that, you have experts out there, we've talked about this, and we've seen it through reports, that AI sometimes has gotten out of control a little bit. At least on 2 or 3 occasions, AI has been able to actually hack into companies without the direction of the host or owning company. And it just did it kind of on its own. It started looking for holes in those systems. The other thing that is indicative of this is that several of the AI companies are not giving out their strongest or their best product. I don't know a time when, we'd ever see a cyber company not giving out its best product, but they're saying that they don't want to give it out because basically they're not sure who's going to use it for what purpose yet, and is it going to be legitimate or not, and are they going to be able to stop it once these criminals or whomever start using it. So I think right now the companies are in a little bit of a dilemma of, how do they attack it? And so that's why I think they're also all getting together and saying, hey, we have to figure this out now, because if we don't do it now, we're going to get overtaken by our own technology.
So then as we look down the road, even just like the next 6 months or so, what does measurable action look like? What could we expect in response from this warning, whether it's from the government, these companies themselves, or some of these critical infrastructure operators it says could be at risk?
So just 2 things. Cybersecurity and technology companies, quickly have to test and build out all their tools that are AI, that make AI-powered defensive, accessible and deploy critical infrastructure. In other words, they have to really, find out what they've got, build it out, and then start utilizing it and letting others utilize it. In other words, they have to be able to, share it with others. And whether it's shared through a licensing agreement and payment, or is it something more where they're all going to come together and kind of, do like that, the open technology where everyone can build off of the same thing and make it better. And then you need the governments in there, and, the U.S. government or other, friendly governments in there to share actionable intelligence that shows what the bad guys are doing. We've done it at times. We've done it for terrorism. We've done it for criminal matters. Now it's got to be done for cyber.
Wow, time's ticking. AI companies warning cyber attacks could surge within months as public concerns grow. That's Rich Frankel, former FBI special agent in charge. Thanks so much, Rich.
Thank you.
It's 2:45. Stories of the Strange. Up next.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Take your winnings to new heights at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee with Spin to Win. This September, play with your rewards card for entries. And Thursday nights, you could spin your way to a share of $300K in cash and prizes. Then keep the ride going, because all your Spin to Win entries also count towards the WinFest finale drawings on September 25th. Spin to Win. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's summer now, but you know what's coming down the pike? Yup, cold weather and high heating bills. Gene Miller here, and now is a great time to order new windows from my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. With national brands like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and Softlight, Hometown can offer replacement windows that fit every home, style, and budget. Whether you're looking for wood, Fibrex, fiberglass, or vinyl, Hometown has a product for you. August is Marvin month. Call or stop in to win a Yeti cooler. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Yes, it's my favorite part of filling in on a Friday show.
You do fill in on Fridays quite a bit on midday, I feel like. Because we tend to do Stories of the Strange a decent amount.
We do, and I get to flex my strange muscles for this one.
You enjoy it.
I do. So let's head out east for Story of the Strange number 1. We're going to Rhode Island today. Local authorities dubbing it Squidpocalypse 2026.
Uh-oh.
Well, if that doesn't get you interested, I don't know what will. So we head to the sunny coastal town of And I hope I'm not offending my friends in the Northeast when I try to say this name, Narragansett, Rhode Island. I know that's true because I looked it up multiple times. So it's a warm, sunny day in our coastal community of Narragansett, Rhode Island a couple of weeks ago in mid-August when a tractor trailer rolls over on a Rhode Island roadway, leaving a stench as a truckload of more than 2 tons of squid spills onto the road, and then...
That seems so slimy, too.
It gets worse. It then sits in the road for hours on this hot, as I mentioned, sunny day. So the police chief there, when they arrived on scene, quote, "The scene started to smell quite bad as the squid had already been out in the sun for a few hours." But don't just take the police chief's word for it. Let's go to the experts on the ground.
Squid has a distinctive odor to it, and I'm a fisherman and I use squid for bait. So I'm used to it, but it can be very foul smelling, especially if it lands on the road and stays there for a while.
That's our expert resident fisherman talking with the gathered media on the scene, who I can only assume had their microphones in one hand and 2 fingers over their nose with the other hand. So this trailer had been taking the squid to a processing facility, then it dislodged, tipping over onto its side as the driver tried to navigate a turn. You want to know how long the squid was on the road?
Too long.
Police first got there just before 9:30. They didn't have the road open again until 5:15 that evening. You can imagine the impact on those just trying to have a nice day at the beach.
When my friend posted about it and I was on the island reading, she said you might have to climb over a mountain of squid to get to Block Island today. And then her next story was a photo of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is indeed real. It felt like something out of SpongeBob or something.
I don't know, it's kind of funny to imagine 2 tons of Squidwards in the road.
Hey, use your mirrors, fool!
So the driver and passenger uninjured, that's the good news. No other vehicles involved in this, but needless to say, residents of the wonderful community of Narragansett will remember Squidpocalypse for years to come. They've already dubbed it on Facebook, the police have, the spill that put Slippery When Wet to shame.
Oh, geez. Oh, that's a good one. I think that one beats mine, but mine is strange as well.
Let me hear it.
So many toe beans, so little time.
Do tell.
A Wisconsin kitten was just born with 29 toes. 29. It's a Maine Coon kitten named Erebus Anomaly.
Great name.
Yeah, right. I know. It works. She tiptoed into the record books for being born with the most toes ever counted on a cat. It always cracks me up, these records. Like, who started this record? And now, more cats are going for it. Well, this cat, it's a boy, by the way, he had a genetic abnormality which causes some cats to be born with unusually high numbers of toes. And this Wisconsin kitten sets a Guinness World Record for it. The previous world record was 28 toes. So this kitten beats it by 1. That previous one, by the way, set in 2002 by a Canadian cat named Jake, which was then matched in March by Toby, which was a cat from Michigan. But I guess the cat's owners are up in Kaukauna. They run a breeding cattery operation called Blue Northern Maine Coons. And they thought as soon as this cat was born, they looked at it and said, he may have a shot.
You know, it's so interesting. We always hear about how humane societies are always saying, people come in. We have so many animals that need a new home. And it's oftentimes, in my experience, from what I've seen, animals that do have these abnormalities may unfortunately get looked over. But that's unfortunate because Erebus here looks like a perfectly fine, good kitty.
Well, they're loving it. They're saying this makes you special. And indeed it does. 29 toes on a Wisconsin kitten. Strange indeed. Meow. It's 2:52.
Experience 90 years of history this week at the Fox and Hounds, the Up North Timbered Supper Club near Holy Hill. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It is my favorite place. Make some great memories at the Fox and Hounds. The Friday haddock fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. The pan-fried walleye, that's so good. The pecan-crusted salmon, my wife loves that. The spinach and cheese tortellini, the surf and turf, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Try the ribs. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, more than 120 wines from around the world. rustic bar, 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds cuddles the Kettle Moraine Forest near Holy Hill. The summer drive is a Wisconsin must-see. Escape from your kitchen with a free dinner at the Fox and Hounds, serving from 4 p.m. Dine early. Saturday, buy one prime rib dinner, get one free. Enjoy Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Call and reserve your free dinner.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
From singing varsity to jump around, and of course,
touchdown, Wisconsin!
The traditions of Badger football live here. Join us Sunday, September 6th. It's the season opener at Lambeau against Notre Dame. Our coverage begins at 4:30 on your home for Wisconsin football.
For all the Badgers action this season, go to Wisconsin's radio station, 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma sports station.
There's now a push from the skies to give Dolly Parton a permanent tribute in Music City.
A plane flew over downtown Nashville Friday morning, trailing a banner that read change.org/Dolly Parton Airport. The banner promoting a petition calling for Nashville International Airport to be renamed for the singer, songwriter, and philanthropist who died Tuesday. The change.org site says Dolly's light should be celebrated across Tennessee. Its final line urges people to sign it so we could all soon be departin' from Parton. As of noon Friday, more than 150,000 people had added their signatures. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Great wordplay from Sherry.
Okay, Sherry, gotta love a Sherry Preston story. Mm-hmm. And she has roots here at WTMJ.
Yes, she does.
I love that. She always says, I love you guys, when we do interviews with her at the end. I love you guys.
And we love her too.
and it feels legit. Have fun if you're going to the Brewers game tonight. It's going to be a blast. And it's not just going to be Brewers fans. It's going to be Brewers fans plus country music fans out there tonight.
I'd be really curious. Yeah, you mentioned that we have the Cole Swindell show after the game tonight. I would love to see, if any one of our WTMJ fans goes out tonight, a panoramic shot, especially if you're sitting kind of in the middle of American Family Field.
How many cowboy hats are in the crowd?
How many hats, how many pink boots, how many just clearly people are there. Yes, great, Brewers, Rangers, fantastic. But I'm really here for the after the game show.
Okay, this reminds me. So a little inside baseball here, but I was trying to get Cole Swindell on our show today. And should I check one more time?
One more time.
We only have seconds left. His people, we were in contact with the people, and at 11:30, so about a half hour before the show, they said, what questions would you ask them? I don't usually like to give up my questions.
Either, yeah.
I never like to do it, but come on, this is just a fun one. I said, we make it fun and easy. Here are a few questions we might ask. But I guess I'm waiting for the response. He's preparing. He's preparing for all of you.
Vocal warm-ups
they didn't
take a
say
little
no.
while.
They didn't
They
say
never
no.
said no.
But have a blast if you're going. It's going to be great. Cole Swindell tonight. It's a post-game concert. I think the Brewers are so smart with this because you might get some people who normally don't go to a game who are coming in just for the concert. They watch the game. They stay for the concert. It's all part of the team's country music night. It's going to be a blast. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 17 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. That's bank59.com/careers. Equal opportunity.